Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week and then we'll get started. For anybody that watched our last week's recording, unfortunately, the recording software did not pick up my input, so it was probably very confusing to listen to. But we have made sure that is fixed today, so should be no problems with that going forward. All right, so quick recap, guys. So when we picked up last week, you guys were exiting from the town of Rendale. You guys were heading out to find where Stinky was. So there was a lot that occurred last week as far as your exiting. So first, you guys were in the tavern. You noticed Sign was there. You realized that she was not a vampire as she was standing in bright sunlight. So that sort of dispelled one potential idea, even though she had these strange puncture marks on her neck. You guys then wanted to exit from the lobby of the common room of the inn, I should say. But the innkeeper, Jadrian, sort of dropped a cask onto the bar, and this made a pretty loud noise, and some of you determined that this was likely intentional. And then she kind of played it off like it wasn't intentional, but very shortly after that, the door was opened, and a soldier walked in who was dressed in a tabard representing the colors of the country of Cariele. So think of this as perhaps like a royal emissary or someone else who's associated with the crown of Cariele. And this person approached you all and essentially started demanding answers, let you know that there was a crime that was committed the previous night at Ferris's Arms and Armor, and that there was something that had been stolen. You guys engaged with this individual who named himself as Sergeant Combs. He asked you many questions, and after a period of time, some of you started to get the impression that this individual was intentionally trying to waste your time. He asked often repetitive questions. He was seemingly keeping you there longer than you really needed to be, and eventually, after more than an hour, I think it was closer to 2 hours, you guys eventually kind of tried to bring this conversation to an end, and seemingly either he thought he couldn't hold you there longer, or he thought he had burnt enough of your time. Hard to say which one that is. He did indeed let you go. You guys then exited, made your way over to Ferris's Arms and Armor because you wanted to check on Jack, who was the salesman out front who stood by the lectern and worked with the customers. You found him, and he was once again very impressed to see Shipwrecker there at Blixel's side. He had mentioned that, yes, there was indeed a break-in, but only a single thing was taken, which was a whetstone that never loses its edge. So essentially it could sharpen blades constantly and never have to be replaced. He went asked how the proprietors of Ferris's Arms and Armor knew there was a break-in. He mentioned that there was a broken window, and that one item was removed from the shelf, and nothing else was taken. And why exactly that is hard to say. Maybe the looter didn't want to have too much on them because it might make them easier to find. Hard to say. After speaking with Jack for a bit longer, which involved him saying that his bosses would love to see Shipwrecker firsthand and perhaps even purchase it, Blixel mentioned that there was a whole lot of sentimental attachment to this item based on who had been around him when he acquired it, and decided not to sell it, and indeed did not want to even walk inside on his own to show this to the bosses. So decided just to let Jack know that if he ever wants to pay to handle it again, he can, but other than that, not really interested in selling it at this point in time. With that complete, the team then made their way out of Rendale and traveled the short distance, at least to where they thought they had left Stinky. Unfortunately, as they got into that area, noting that it had been quite a period of time, overnight, since they had at last spoke with Stinky, they found that there was a clearing nearby a tree where there was a bit of mud and dirt, and it was Bairn, actually, who was able to determine that there was some markings in this dirt made by a very large, clumsy hand or paw, perhaps, and it indicated that Stinky had gotten hungry and he went hunting. So the team first thought perhaps he went back to the river for some salmon like he had previously eaten on you guys' way to Rendale, but instead it looked as though the tracks led in a different direction deeper into the forest, kind of eventually wrapped around as the team followed those tracks, and the team found themselves in a forested area where there was a bit of a ridge and then a cavern entrance. There was a precipitously hanging large rock above that ridge that the team maybe didn't notice right off the bat, maybe spotted it but didn't think too much of it. They kind of scouted around here a little bit, with Bairn very strangely trying to go to the bottom of the map, almost like he thought something was there. But no, in fact, the team then went into the cave entrance itself, finding themselves inside this cave, which was a very, very small cave system. It had a large pool of water, though the pool wasn't particularly deep, in the center, so the team had to get a little bit of wet as they passed by here, eventually finding this beautiful tree in the back area with Stinky next to it, seemingly almost mesmerized as he stared up into the heights of the tree. The tree itself was this bright autumn colors of leaves, almost reminiscent of a burning bush kind of style. Stinky seemed to be eyeing this object in the tree, though the team wasn't sure what that was right away. Eventually, Tavard was brave enough to approach, though he did ask that a rope be tied around him in case he ran into any troubles. Made his way up there, spoke to Stinky, and then Stinky wasn't actually mesmerized or, magically compelled to do anything, but instead was just really impressed with this object and the tree. And after a brief discussion with Tavard, mainly where Stinky was explaining that he was hearing a voice in his head, Tavard eventually touched the tree and also heard this voice, and it seemed as though the tree was offering a gift to Tavard, or the team, as you will. The gift of the Old Father is essentially what the tree, or whatever this voice is in this area, had explained to Tavard. Tavard then debated about whether to go up and pluck this item out of the tree, and I'm drawing a blank, but this would be a great opportunity for inspiration for who actually plucked it out of the tree and how they did so before bringing it back down. And then the team was able to look it over, and I believe it was Celine, who is our knowledge person, and was able to determine that this was a magic object that is somewhat well known by those in the religious community. The magic item is what is known as the Crystal of the Old Father, and it is said to have some mysterious restorative properties. So having taken this and collected Stinky, the team made their way out of this cave system. As they did so, with Blixel exiting first, the stone, or this large boulder from up top, was pushed down, almost smashing Blixel into paste, but he managed to get out of the way. However, this created a bit of a blockage to the other team members as these three assailants from up top took the fight to Blixel. As Blixel tried to fight back, he found himself fighting against primarily two people, both of them seemingly spellcasters of sorts. The rest of the team tried to get out of the cave as best they could, at part-time pushing the rock even further onto Blixel. I believe it was Stinky that pushed it on top of him and crushed him, if memory serves. And then he had to get some assistance to get out of there, but eventually was indeed able to get free of the rock. The team made their way up to the ridge through a combination of climbing or magic or going around. Eventually took the fight to these three assailants. One of them seemed to be some kind of a maybe almost like a warlock, probably is what the team might think. The other was more like a wizard, and the last was more simply like a brute fighter. The warlock was eventually slain by our team, even though he was pretty mobile and trying to get around. And the wizard was able to get away through the use of what was most likely an invisibility spell. The big brute guy was taken down but not killed, and this is where Celine informed the team that this big brute was someone she was familiar with and had had some issues in the past with, as this person was a logger and seemingly was trying to cut some trees down in a protected area nearby her the temple or the chapel that her grandparents are at, where there's some trees nearby there that are sort of protected in that area. This guy did not seem to really respect those protections and tried to cut the trees down anyway, and Celine had to get a little creative to convince him to go elsewhere. So with that understanding, the team then applied a little bit of magical healing through Blixel to bring this brute guy back to consciousness, and then questioned him. He essentially said that he was not aware of what had happened here. He didn't even know how he got here. Saline let the team know that this individual's name is Brant Collinsford, and again filled in some additional information. Brant was angry at Saline particularly, saying he would not speak to witches, and this sort of personality or this anger seemed to continue throughout. He was not totally brave. Once there were perhaps some threats made, he was more open and willing to try to save his own life, you might say. But yeah, it seemed as though he was not aware of what had occurred, why he was here, who his companions were that he was with. So the team suspects some kind of magical mind manipulation here. With all of that said and done, the team decided, I believe, at the very end of our session, to collect Brant and bring him with them as they make their way back to the logging camp in the southeast corner of the province, before then ultimately following to return home to the hamlet. So, team, that's the quick recap of last week. Is there anything anybody would like to add?
Yeah, I'll jump in. At the tavern, at the Yellow Goblet, we were asked a question by the guard, and they asked for our names, and
Sergeant Combs.
Vin and Baron gave the last name Greaves, and I think even Serena gave a fake name, but I don't know what everyone else did. But important, the brothers did not give up their identity at that time.
Yes, good addition. In fact, I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong here, Serena, but I think Serena is the only one that gave her correct name, and everybody else gave fake names.
That's right. She would like the sergeant to be able to find her if need be.
Oh, that's right.
All right, excellent. Go ahead and take inspiration for that, Baron. And you know what, Serena, you go ahead and take inspiration as well. That was great.
That was good.
My number is 555.
All right, does anybody else have anything to add?
Yeah, Tavern was brave enough to climb that darn tree and grab this pineapple-looking thing. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it spoke to me, Adam, causing me to kind of question my journey in life.
Does Tavern happen to remember any kind of a physical or descriptive change that occurred when he plucked it off of the tree?
Yeah, it made me feel warm inside, like Jell-O.
Okay.
That was Blixel. That wasn't...
I remember it being like orange or something like that, but I don't remember anything else about the crystal of the Allfather.
Changed color, yeah.
It did indeed. Yeah, fair enough. I was fishing for a little bit extra details there, but no worries. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Tavern. As I did say, whoever climbed the tree couldn't remember, so good reminder there. Yes, the crystal itself was more of like a pale tan or maybe almost like a clear or rose color, but once it was plucked, it turned into a deep amethyst color as the object was plucked away from the tree.
Oh, yeah, I thought it turned orange for some reason. I can't remember.
No worries at all. We'll just go ahead and pop that on the screen again so everybody remembers what that looks like. And again, the team has a vague idea of what that does thanks to Saline's information. All right, anybody else?
Adam, real quick, I wanted to mention one thing about that in addition, but I had one other thing for inspiration too, but I think Saline got a really good roll because I wrote down that she called it the Crystal of the Old Father, and that it essentially is a one-time use for a revival. I don't remember if that's correct, or maybe you'll have to correct me, but that's what I wrote down.
Adam had said something about it working like... When I asked if it was like from death or from unconsciousness, he said it was like somewhere in between, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think the gist of it was...
I think his exact thing was, you wrote so good, I almost want to tell you exactly what it does.
Sure. And yeah, well, to that point, we do have to attune... Someone has to attune to it. It's probably going to be me to like figure out the mechanics of how it works. I did ask if it was a suppository, and it sounded like it was not.
It was not.
It is not. No, the Old Father's not like that. But yeah, go ahead and take inspiration for that, Saline, as it sounds like, Vin, you have something else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, with Brant, when we were questioning him after we had tied him up to the tree, he specifically said that I think he was picked up on Meerland, and we found him on Furland. So he missed an entire day, and he was from the northern camp, which is run by a gentleman named Cletus.
Yes, indeed. That is all accurate as well. So yeah, almost like more than a full day is missing from Brant's memory, assuming you believe what he is telling you. Yes, go ahead and take inspiration, Vin. Any last minute things before we dish out cards and get started, folks? Okay, hearing nothing. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Baron.
I have a last minute thing. I was waiting for people, but we took, I took the quarterstaff from the quote warlock and the studded leather armor, and it's uniquely adorned. And I gave it to my brother, so he has the studded leather armor now, if it fits. But I also wanted to that end, I wanted to ask you about that staff. Like, what skull is on it? It's called the skull staff, and does it look like it's magical, for lack of a better way? Like, does it look unique or very unique, I guess?
It looks unique. You have no way of knowing whether it's magical or not. It looks to be a human skull. There's no name or anything written on it, so you're not sure who exactly skull it is, but it's definitely human.
And maybe I could do this during game, but being another warlock, I mean, I have my symbol, my thing, my ring. I'd like to roll a look at it and see if this is his sort of patron gift or something.
Sure, yeah, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll let you make that blind check right off the bat. All right, so I'm going to dish out cards here, folks. Go ahead and take a moment to review your card.
Can I add one thing? Sorry, I was muted before. I didn't realize it.
You sure can, yeah.
I don't know if anyone mentioned this, but we know that the old father is Eric, the god Eric.
Yes, is there anything else you can add upon that?
Nature god?
All right, good enough. We'll go ahead and give that to you. You can take inspiration, Blixel.
Good swing, Noah. Good swing.
He's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody should have their card. Take a moment to review that. Let me know if any questions. Baron, go ahead and throw me a blind check as I pull you guys back over to the map where we left off.
Can someone else do Stinky this time? By the way? Or, I mean, you don't have to. I can, but
Sure,
does anybody want to?
All right, sounds like we've got a volunteer. So yeah, let's go ahead and move that over to Serena. Baron, did you have your token selected when you clicked that?
I had the picture on the right, but now this next one is with the token selected.
All right, I don't see that the sandbox crashed, but nothing came through for that, so let me just do a refresh just in case.
And then I'll take the higher of the two.
Actually, no dice have been presented to me yet, so there's nothing. So give me one more roll, please. All right, now it's working. Yeah, you're not quite sure, Baron. So you're looking over this staff to see if maybe this is what the attacker used as like a spell focus. You don't see anything on this that would indicate that in any way.
Cool.
So what do you think we should do with him? I mean, I know we were speaking about taking him with him to camp, but what if the camp is on high alert to see us? Watch what you say, also. He is not unconscious any longer.
Well, it can be.
We don't
Celine,
need him to be.
is this the only guy you have problem with from where you're from?
Oh, I have problems with all kinds of people. I'm not good with them, but I mean, I think
Any magical people that want to kill you?
not that I know.
Okay, because they were here to kill you. They mentioned the witch. They tried to drop that rock on my head. So it doesn't seem like he knows what's going on. So somebody else really wants to kill you.
I'm kind of wondering if maybe they were sent after us and just got this guy duped thinking that she's a witch and I'll come with you kind of thing. Who knows?
But who would send anyone after us? Not us together, maybe one of us for transgressions in the past, but I mean, Celine, we've encountered this Brent before.
Yes.
Because they want to kill the heirs.
It's not out. That information is not public.
And we don't want to say it in front of this dude.
I could kill him.
Not yet.
Is that helpful?
I think we could use him.
How?
But
As bait?
how? Bait would be nice. But also, we saved his life. He kind of owes us one. That one, we just don't know yet.
I don't
He doesn't
trust
really.
him.
He doesn't look like the honorable type that would honor a life debt.
Yeah. I think the less time we have to spend around this guy, the better. He could try to kill Celine at any moment. He still doesn't like her, even when his brain is fixed.
He's well.
Oi, Brant,
What?
why should we keep you alive?
Why should you kill me? I'm out here. I don't know what's going on, and you just telling me that all this stuff that's happening. I didn't do anything wrong.
You did, sir. You did. You attacked us all. You came with these friends here. And you were calling Celine by her name, as if you were coming for her directly. Whether or not you remember it, we can't trust that, you see. I mean, it's all too convenient for you. The last one alive and all.
Don't know what to tell you other than strange magics. You don't want to be dealing with witches and stuff.
You were the one dealing with them, sir. You don't understand your predicament right now. We could leave you here to die. We could kill you ourselves. You have no purpose to us.
You
You're
see,
in
he kind of
fact wasting
scrunches
our
his
time.
face up a bit as he looks at you, still lashed to this tree.
You see, we're tracking someone down right now, and you wasted our time. We could have our bear eat you, you know.
You see, he kind of looks over towards the bear with, again, a little bit of curiosity or maybe fear, hard to say, as he looks towards the bear.
Stinky's licking his paws.
Celine, come here. You decide his fate. Do we kill him? Or do we take him?
Well, I don't want this blood on my hands. I think it would benefit us to bring him to safety in the logging camp, and then we can conduct what business we need to there. This gives us a reason to be there.
Just leave him alone. Let him go on his own adventure, and if he makes it, he makes it. If he don't, he don't. It's the travel he needs to. It's the path he needs to travel.
I like that plan. Anything dealing with him may lead to us getting distracted or unnecessary confrontation. Why don't we knock him out? Leave him here. Go on our way. That way, Celine, no blood on your hands. He lives. We go.
Well, does he? He's alone and he doesn't know where he is or where he's going.
We don't know that for sure. There's no way of knowing if he was compelled or just a liar. He has no use to us, especially one that wants to harm you directly. If we take him to the camp, we may not be welcome there ourselves.
The camp people would probably kill him too. I mean, they're not too easy on justice.
They do have 2 bodies in their lake.
I mean, we could drop him off there and just not mention the fact that he tried to kill us.
I think it's risky. What
I
if we
don't
come
like it.
across our target? What do we do with him then?
I don't even 100% buy that he doesn't have his memory.
I agree, Lixel. Seems suspicious. I mean, do you know any magic that lasts a day and a half?
Not me. I don't know any.
I say give him a dagger or a knife and call it good.
Dagger and a ration?
Hey, we're good people. We can give him 2 rations.
Whoa, whoa. Relax.
Adam, I'm gonna take that dagger that I had that was -2 from the skeletons, and I'm gonna stab it into the earth over here, and I'm gonna look over at Serena and just kind of give her the nod to knock him out.
And just to clarify here, the weapon that he was fighting you with, which was like a big lumberjack great axe, have you guys taken that, or is that still on the ground somewhere?
I thought Serena had picked that up.
Yeah, I've got a great axe in my inventory.
Okay, good deal.
So yeah, I'll give Serena the nod to knock his ass out. Oh, damn.
All the fun. What?
All right.
I don't have oh, there's unarmed strike. Sorry. Never mind.
That's okay, no worries. We know what you're going for here. I'm sure you weren't trying to slash his head off. So, but yeah, him being all tied up, not much he can do here. You easily knock him out.
Cool. And I will unravel his the rope that I had around him, and then lasso it back into my bag, and go over to my brother and look at him and say, "Are you okay?"
What? Sorry, brother. I wasn't paying attention. And he'll like lean on a rock there to have a seat. My head hurts and I don't know. I need to sit down. Feeling weary. Like doubly weary. Like 2 points of weariness?
I'd like to point something out to you, brother.
Yeah.
I watched you get hit in the face with that man's club. The
That's
scratches.
what happened. He starts to laugh.
That's exactly what happened. But this is the first time I've seen you be that hurt. Your cuts on your face, the bruises, they're
Rub
already healed.
rub mud on it. It gets better.
And I'll touch. You're right. The blood seems to be scabbed up already. Oh my god, is it happening? Is that part of the bloodline thing?
I don't know. But you don't look back to full strength, either way. What was this you were telling me about your ring again? Give us an explanation. You said something earlier.
Oh, and he'll reach down and fiddle with it on his index finger. Oh, this, yeah. So I found this in the cave, and it has a little compartment in it. When I grabbed it out of the dirt, it it swirled around, and this presence came about. Of course, in my desperation, I agreed to the terms. But anyway, I can sit in it and bring items into it, and I can spend time in it. But once I do, I'm going to like disappear. So you're going to have to pick it up and carry it, brother. But I could rest in there, maybe recover 1 point of weariness, and possibly take that large stone key that you're dragging around like it's your purse.
So you can keep objects in there.
Yeah, I
Like
can.
What's it look like inside?
And those gold antlers that Cerilia's been dragging around.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Well, go on, brother. If
Well,
the
I'll
DM allows you to short rest inside of your ring, then why not?
well, I'll post it to make sure I'm reading it correctly, but I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
It's a big one, but it's bottled respite. I'm sure Adam knows this. Come on.
Sorry, what was the actual question you were asking?
The bottled respite, you're familiar with it, right?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay, I posted it. It's midway of that large text I just threw up there in chat.
He wants to know if he uses his bottled respite, if when he pops in, if like I put the ring on my finger while we're walking, if while he's within that space, if he can take his short rest while we're still moving. I think is his question.
Yeah, it says I can stay there 2 hours, 2 times my proficiency in hours, so 4 hours.
Yeah, I would think that would work.
And it says you can leave objects in there that you bring in. It's kind of like a storage space.
I was trying to do a funny play on the carry on, but we'll just get rid of that. It didn't work out. But yes, so you totally can do that in the ring. But yeah, is that your intent? You want to just pop into the ring?
I think we'd wait till we get heading towards a direction, brother. I'd hate to have to pop out of it and scare everybody.
I think we're about to leave now. We're going to leave Brant's here, make our way to the logging camp.
All
I
right.
think before you pop in, let's talk about the plan. We're trying to find the investigators to learn what they know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you think they could have taken a boat down there? Should we follow the river along the tree line,
I would
just
think
in
that
case?
they're asking me at the top of my head. Now, remember, I'm suffering some weariness here, but if they would go the quickest way, and if they wanted to be secret, they might take the river, but why not take the main roads? So, I would say, are there roads here? Oh, my head hurts.
Do you think we could maybe take a rest before we head over to the logging camp? Like a
Well,
short one?
that's what we're talking about. So, I really need a rest, but you guys got to get going. If there's any chance, it's a 2-hour walk, right?
And we believe the investigators left yesterday evening. So if they went there, they could already be at the hamlet. That's my only worry. Are you okay to travel, Blix, or do you need to take that minute now?
I mean, I'm binged up a little. I know a couple of us are, just a little bit, right?
Well, that may be worth us being at full strength, more so than our speed. But what about if we go down closer to the riverbank to at least make sure they don't come back while we're chilling?
No,
Keep our eyes on Rendell.
wait. Are you telling me that they've already gone to the logging camp? Then we had better be off to see Tegan. If we have no chance of talking to these guys or intercepting them on the way, then we better get home.
This is what I was saying. This is why we're in a hurry. They left yesterday.
No, then we go home. We got to go home.
Going home an hour or so would not make a difference, brother. But this is what I'm saying. Our speed is paramount, because if they have gone to the logging camp and stayed overnight, and then left in the morning, then we could catch them on their way back. We wouldn't need to necessarily travel all the way there, but we would need to think about which way they would return, by river or by
So you
land.
th- so you're saying that you think that they're going to come from here to the logging camp and then back here and not go to the hamlet?
It's a risk, but if they don't return within the hour of us resting, then we make our way to the logging camp ourselves, and if they're
Oh,
not there, then we go. I'm only saying that so
I see what
Blitzel
you.
can lick his wounds a little and you could catch your breath.
You got to think of a better saying than that. I'm not licking the wounds.
It's
We got to
maybe
think of something
Speak for
clever.
yourself.
Now I see what you're saying. Yeah, so we get lucky. Because you don't think that they're going to the hamlet.
It's not that I don't think that. It's that we don't know exactly, right? So us resting here in the middle of the forest, they could just walk right past us, right into town, while we take off chasing them, and we never even see them. So if we
Didn't
move over and rest near where we can see Rendell, then maybe we could see them coming, even if they're on the return now. If not, then we leave and we just keep up with our plan. But that way, you guys can get y'all short rest that you need.
Yeah, I don't mind taking a short rest out in the open and not in my cool ring that I have that have yet to use. But that's cool.
but they left a day ago, right?
Last night. So remember when we returned from down below, we went over to Ryance's, and Ryance had Wilcox there, and he was questioning him. And then we went back to the tavern, and then we chilled, and I snuck off to Wilcox's. 4 hours later, Wilcox returned. So that would be close around midnight when Wilcox got back to his house. So he said that Ryance sent investigators to the hamlet. Now, we don't know if the investigators left that morning, and that's why we were getting held by Sergeant Combs, right? And he just wanted them to get a head start that day, or if they left last night and they got a head start then. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Did I say that correct?
I guess I just feel like I don't know why they would be back already. I feel like we just need to hoof it to mitigate any damage if they did go to the village.
Back to the hamlet, you mean?
I mean, I'm fine
Village.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm at full everything. I'm perfectly okay with taking off and running now. But Blixel got his head crushed in by a rock, and Baron is at half health with 2 points of weariness.
We could be
Oh.
taking a short rest during all this jabbering.
Say, Libby, when you said village, I don't mean to assume you're thinking hamlet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah. That's what I can just hop in the ring and we can be off, or we can sit here. We're fine.
All right, use the ring and let's go.
All right. Here, and then I'll take that big stone key from my pack at him that we got from Tegan, and I'll give it to him to store in that space, and I'll look over and say, anybody else want him to carry anything? He could put it away in safekeeping. Free storage. No monthly fees. Just need your credit card information and social.
I'll give him the antlers.
Okay, golden antler. So I have a little thing handout, Adam. I call it Baron's Ring Genie Respite, and I'm gonna write stuff in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him that woodcutter's axe too, just because it's taking up inventory space.
Now that we're doing all this gift giving and everything, hey,
What else
Wait,
did you
is
give
that
me?
is that
Well, I'm sorry.
different than the one that I'm carrying?
Yeah, I stole this from the logging camp ages ago. It's just been filling in my inventory. Yeah.
What is it?
Just a woodcutter's axe.
Okay.
A logging axe. But it weighs 5 pounds, so I just wanted to get that shit off my inventory. And I will take the ring once Baron pops into it, Adam, and slide it on my hand.
Okay. Tavern was mentioning something about gift giving.
Sorry, Tavern.
Well, we see you lit up there, Bill, but we're not hearing you. All right, we will allow Bill to do some little technical work there as we move on. All right, so is there anything special the team notices here, Baron, as you pop into the ring? Any kind of magical effect here or anything?
So, I guess I will just take it off my finger as I'm holding it, and I'll put it in the palm of my hand, and I'll offer it to Baron. And when I see him touch it as well, and I'm touching it, I'll just look at it. I'll look at him and say, "Have a safe trip," and I'll just poof, and the ring will stay in your thumb and index finger, and I'll just.
You said you offered it to Baron?
Oh, Vin, sorry.
I was going to say it falls to the ground. No, okay, yeah, that works. Okay, after that display, then, yeah, you guys are standing here on this ridge with Bairn no longer there. Is it your intent to leave this area and start making the trek down to the hamlet?
Yes, I think so. Or logging
Yep.
camp, right, guys? Or
No,
straight
I'm
to the hamlet.
so confused now.
I thought we were
Yeah.
going to Hamlet. That's what because the village.
Because we gotta cut
Ooh,
him
now
off.
good question is, can you talk while you're
No, I
inside the
can't.
ring?
No, I can't. But
He can
as
hear.
we were, I can. But no, I can't talk. But as out of character, I thought for sure we were planned that it was a Hamlet trip. Sorry.
I thought the plan this whole time is we're tracking down the investigators. Whether that's the hamlet or the logging camp, it doesn't matter. But we got to go to the logging camp first because that's where they're going. I thought that was the plan.
I thought you said we don't know where they're going.
We don't know
Okay,
where
Adam,
they're
this is gonna
at.
take a while. I'm gonna start my short rest.
Sorry if I'm not following, guys.
No, I'm confused too. I thought that we knew that we weren't gonna catch them before they got to the logging camp, and that's why we said we should go to the hamlet to try to get ahead of them, because they've already been to the logging camp, as like 99% guaranteed if they left last night. So, and then I thought if we were gonna go to the logging camp, we were gonna bring Brants to have an excuse to go there, and not just, hey, we're looking for the people who are looking for us. Can we kill them for? Can you guys just turn around and kill them? But if we're
Yeah.
not bringing Brants with us, then I thought the intention was to go to the hamlet.
Okay. So it's confusing for sure, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is that we're tracking the investigators. So if we just skip one of the points that they went to, then we skip the chance of catching them, right? So even if they've already been there and gone to the hamlet, we're chancing that that's what they did. But they could have just gone there and then gone right back to Rendell. Is what I'm saying is we don't know where
Sure,
they're
but
at. We don't know what
but
they've done.
we may have just missed them wandering around in the forest for 2 hours looking for the bear. In that
That's why
case,
yeah, that's why I said we should have left a message for the bear and taken off then. That's what I was saying last game.
I don't care what we do. I just know that
Yeah.
Serena would be concerned that these guys are going to show up at her family's home and harm them some way.
Agreed. So
Mic
we
test.
can
Hello.
yep,
Yeah, we can hear you
Dub.
now.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
Is the logging camp like out of the way of the hamlet dramatically?
No. Now, good idea. Let's go ahead and get you guys over to the map. All right, so as you can see here on the map of where Rendell is and where your party indicator is, you're slightly away from that now as you've tracked down the bear. So you're approximately here. So it's about, say, a little over 16 miles to the logging camp and about 18 miles, well, not that far because you guys were more like west of Rendell. So say 15 miles to the hamlet and a little bit, about 15 miles to the logging camp. So either way.
can you give us from Rendell to the logging camp, Adam, so we can get an idea of the investigators?
Like 14 miles?
So half a day's journey.
Yep, your average person can move like 3 miles in an hour. So, yeah, approximately that.
maybe they rolled on the encounter table and found a hydra in the river and they got slowed down with that.
Truth.
And since it's like relatively close, we should probably stop there first and then head over to the hamlet. Because either way, they're so far ahead of us, so they'll be ahead of us if they know where they're going.
Yeah, but the advantage is that they don't know where the hamlet is, only that there is a hamlet. So if we go to the logging camp, we can send in a couple of people and say, hey, we encountered this and that, or we can tell Darvin what had happened to Var, maybe not the entire party, but then while those people are in there, they can ask, hey, did anybody ask about us? Has anybody wanted us to help them? And things like that, and see if we can figure out if anybody's Because they may have just picked up a guide that knows where it is in the logging camp and someone's taking them there. But what we need to know is what information they got at the logging camp, which is why I think we go there first. And we may find out nothing, which is fine. And then we retreat over to the hamlet. That's my thinking.
Let's go.
Can we
I
bring
just don't
Brant
wanna
then?
miss
If
him.
we're going to the logging camp anyway, can we just bring the NPC so that I don't have to feel
But
guilty?
he's not going. He's not from that logging camp. He's from a different one, right?
He's from one up north of Rendell, yeah.
Yeah, but if we just leave him here, like, I don't think he's making it back to where he needs to go.
And we would dislodge him pretty far. We would taking him all the way back there. The only thing is, Saline, is that we would be taking your enemy closer to your home.
He already knows where the hamlet is. He was there.
Fair.
So,
I mean,
and-
I don't care about brands, right? But I just don't want an unnecessary risk or anything like that we don't necessarily have to take. That's all.
Just keep him away from me.
so I think the risk of leaving this guy to die is that if anyone finds out, like, they're gonna know that we were here. Well, I guess how would they find out? Unless
It's way more likely that they'll find, if he's alive, information. No one's gonna find him if he dies here. I guarantee
maybe,
it.
but I mean, the wizards found him and brought him out here, so maybe.
More of a moral choice than a logistic choice. So you do what you feel.
And I am playing a character who isn't an asshole this time for the first time in like 3 years.
Spectre
So,
would have just killed him and moved on.
absolutely. But
all right, you're in charge of him then.
I think she doesn't want him to die. I don't think Saline believes that this guy is intelligent enough to have like orchestrated this on his own and like came out here with the intention of like killing us. I think she thinks that he was manipulated by these people and they used him to get to us. And she thinks he's just a victim.
And why do you think he wouldn't be able to walk to Rendell or Rydale or whatever it is?
Because he said he doesn't know where he is because he lost his memory.
It is
So,
most definitely Rundale and not Rydale, the high school from the Grease movie, but yes, Rundale.
I guess if the party is against it, we can like leave a note for him to like give him directions to the river and then he can find his way wherever he needs to go. But I have a feeling that if we leave him out here, he's just gonna disappear and die. And then all of Adam's hard work about building up this NPC is gonna go down the drain.
He's your bully. I'll let you. I'll vote however you want. It's only fair. It's your bully.
It would be a good way for whatever party that goes into the logging camp to actually get access in and say, hey, we found this guy wandering around in the freaking forest.
Yeah,
You know what I
he's
mean?
a logger.
Mm.
Like, we don't have to tell them that we know he's from the northern camp, although they'll find out from him when he explains.
Sounds like only Serena has a problem with it. Serena?
I'll carry him.
Hey, wait a second though. Let's
Alright.
be honest. She just wants to kill somebody, so that's not really the same voting.
All right.
factor.
Well, let's go, because like he said, I probably could have bandaged my wounds in this time. So pick him up and let's run to the logging camp.
There we go.
All right, so Serena, you're definitely not going to be running. Brance is a hefty 6'1", 310-pound guy, so you can carry him, but this is really going to slow you down.
How about this? I will cast Tensor's floating disc as a ritual, and then we can carry him that way. It'll slow us down 10 minutes, but it won't make us move at half speed the whole time. I guess I'd have to recast it every hour, though, right?
He would
You
wake
You
up.
would indeed, yes.
We
So
don't
we
know
would
how
make
long he would be
5/6
unconscious.
progress instead of half progress.
It's fine. Do it.
I could
And
grab one leg.
And how many
I mean-
times? How many times
could-
do you want to actually play that spell and you never get a chance to? That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can even... What's the weight limit? Is it 500 pounds?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So I could even carry Blixel for the first hour, and he could get a short rest because he just gets to chill on the disc. Would that work?
I think I weigh
Uh,
more than that.
I was going to say his weight plus all of his gear and all of that would have to be under 190.
Oh.
We would still be able to do that at some point, regardless on the trek to the logging camp, though, because 14 miles would be. 3
So
miles per
I
hour,
think
so
just to
4 hours.
try to get ahead of this a little bit, I'm going to say no, you can't use floating disc as a short rest thing because I think that's going to open up a can of worms. So the idea, like, you can't be traveling when you take a short rest. You have to just be relaxing, just looking around, maybe eating, maybe reading a book, but it's like real low. And I get where you're going, that like obviously someone can just sit there like Aladdin style and let everybody do stuff around them. But I feel like you're still kind of moving, you're still interacting, like you're still paying attention to threats, all of that. So I'm going to say that
Sure.
won't qualify for a short rest.
Okay.
We could just throw him on the back of the bear too. The bear is pretty strong.
I mean, he could just run too. Where is only hope?
Should we wake him back up?
Nah. But let's do the disc thing. Let's carry him that way.
Yeah.
The longer we talk about it, that's 10 minutes right there. We could have tensored him.
I'm cool with that plan. At least for the first hour, see how it works.
Sounds good.
All right, so you go ahead and conjure up the disc then, Saline, and it pops into existence. The team then spends some time grabbing onto Brance and loading him onto the disc. You will notice that it dips down in the presence of his weight, but it is still floating there.
Let's go.
And
All right,
we
and
run.
I'm afraid to even ask this question, but all right, where are you going?
The logging camp.
Yep.
Logging camp. Excellent. All right, so you guys get perhaps 45 minutes outside of the area that you just were. So again, you guys were following, looking for Stinky, made your way a little bit over in this direction-ish. So you start making your way back to the logging camp. So you're moving southeast. After traveling for about 45 minutes or so, you can see that there is a darkening overhead as the clouds, these dark clouds, seem to accumulate here, and you can hear the sound of thunder and rain at a distance.
Just great.
Good, I haven't showered for 4 days. I'm good.
Just wait 4 more minutes.
Yeah, that'll be refreshing.
Yeah, we have to continue because we have to assume that the investigators probably aren't going to travel in this, so it may give us some time to catch up if we risk it.
It's just rain. What are you talking about? Of course we're going through it.
Cool.
I mean, I did get hit by lightning last time, so maybe I should shut up about that. But
All right, so as you guys keep traveling, you travel for another, say, 45 minutes or so, making your way. Bear, your short rest has completed. I'll go ahead and click the button for you.
Do you pop out of the ring, bro, or do you stay in it?
I can hear everything, so I'll just wait. Why should I walk when you could carry me? And I'm in this beautifully cushioned respite. Yeah, this is great.
Does it take an action to come out, or how do you come
It's
out?
a bonus action to come out.
Okay.
And again, I don't want to be like tyrannical here and be like, you can't say anything. But with the fact that they can't communicate to you, I think is intended to be one of the downsides of doing this, right? So out of character, you could say things as long as it's not determinative, right? Like, let's say they're making a big decision, you really won't be able to weigh in, right? So I would just say be really, really hesitant about what you're saying because we want to make sure, again, they literally cannot hear you.
Yeah. But I can hear everything. The question was if I can pop out and I can hear things around.
Right, but you've just told them that, I could pop out if I wanted to, but they don't actually know that, right? So again, just keep that in mind. All right, so as you guys continue traveling, the weather sounds are getting worse. So you can hear the sound of the rain getting louder as it seems to be picking up and essentially coming more your way, or you're going more that way. You can hear the sound of the wind really picking up as well. The wind rushing through the trees here is swaying these trees dramatically. You can see a lot of the limbs beginning to waver. It looks like this weather is going to turn and terribly bad as you're looking in this direction. Also, we'll assume that did you want to spend another 10 minutes sailing, re-summoning this at the hour mark?
Unless he wakes up, I guess. I guess we never did a D4 for him to see when he.
Go ahead, Saline. You can roll
Sure.
that D4.
To GM.
No, you can just roll it publicly. It's okay.
What is it? 1d4 plus 1, right?
Just 1d4. Okay, so he is still not awake yet. So, yeah, once you know it's getting ready to go, are you just letting it fade and he collapses to the ground? Or are you, like, spending the time to lower him, all that stuff?
I guess we would have to stop and recast it unless someone is willing to pick him up. Because
I'd throw him on Stinky.
Yeah, I mean, it's
they're
starting
able
to
to
get pretty bad out there. You hear that?
I don't know if we have time to stop every hour to recast this. So.
All right, and I'll say if you throw him on the back of Stinky, you could do that, but he's not going to be able to move very quickly. You know, this guy would easily fall off. If you want to spend some time like tying him to the bear, then that might work, but you're not sure how comfortable Stinky's going to be having a human tied to his back.
And Adam, does this weather seem like natural or normal for this area, us having lived here for this long?
Yes, I will say even without a check, you know that at this time of year, cold, which it is right now, it's colder than normal, and severe thunderstorms are not out of the ordinary. I would say they're not super common. They don't happen every day in this area, but they do happen.
Do we think that it would be like life-threatening to continue to travel in one?
Good question. So, if a thunderstorm gets very, very strong, like a really strong, severe thunderstorm, basically the effects of that is you won't be able to see or hear much beyond you because the wind will be howling so bad. The wind will be whipping the water into your eyes. So you won't be able to see much. You won't be able to hear much that's not right outside of you. If you're using any kind of a torch or any kind of a flame, it's very likely to get extinguished by the really strong winds. The wind can get so strong that it can actually physically push people away. So smaller characters would be at more risk here. They could actually get thrown through the air by a strong gust of wind. Medium or larger characters, usually the worst that's going to happen is it's going to knock you to the ground.
Okay.
Well, we got to push forward then, I guess.
And I'll just also throw out there, because it is colder than normal, obviously you guys are dressed pretty well for this, but this is more cold than typical, veering below 40 degrees at this point. And due to that cold temperature, essentially every hour or so that you're traveling, you're going to be making checks to see how well you're doing in this weather. So right now it's not too bad, but it seems as though the temperature is actually dropping with this thunderstorm rolling in. So if it goes down much lower, then that would also kick in where you're making those checks.
I mean, even if we tried to just chill, though, we would still be getting battered by the same storm. We would just be doing it while standing still.
Not if Sticky finds another cave. He seems pretty good at that.
Or we could
what
try to
kind of
build a
area are we in right
lean-to.
now?
So right now, the way the wind is, a lean-to probably would work. But if it gets worse, you think this wind would destroy a lean-to that's not like constructed.
What kind of terrain is around us? Are we like moving through the new growth like
Yes.
woods? Okay, so there's no like ridges or mountainsides or anything we could like buffer against the.
There's not mountainsides, but there certainly are ridges. Yeah, this is not totally flat ground, so it's kind of rolling, right? So you certainly would be able to find areas that are more at dips and would be covered from the wind.
If we're slowed down, so are they, whoever we're trying to catch up to, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Everybody stay close together, though.
All right, so it sounds like keep pushing forward, right?
Yeah. I'm going to give it a try.
Okay, and then Baron, so you can stay in the ring for a total of 4 hours. It's been a little bit shy. It's been like an hour 45-ish now. Is your intent there to stay for the full 4?
No, it's not my intent. My intent is to come out at the opportune moment, and so I guess it's storming outside. I'm gonna hang out here.
Okay, fair enough. So you can hear the area around your vessel as if you were in its space. Okay, so yeah, you let me know then what you consider the opportune moment then. But yeah, so team, you continue to push on. You guys travel for, and again, are you tying him to Stinky? Are you summoning the disc again? What are you doing?
I think since he's still unconscious, we're doing the disc again.
I would. I don't want Stinky feeling like he's a mule. I mean, he's a bear.
Yep. Yeah, we might as well. If he gets blown off the disc, so be it. We'll just keep moving. It was his fate.
Stinky, do you know of any caves around here?
Not from a raid around here. I didn't handle it much here. I was just by the river and then in the other cave, and I don't really remember much before the blessing.
Oh, okay.
Well, what would you do in a storm like this, Stinky? What would be your
Get out of it!
What?
Get out of it. You don't want to be around it. It gets your fur all cold, and it'll kind of like freeze, and when it hits you right in the eye, those little like icicles, it hurts.
Do you think anybody can travel in this?
You see he looks up and kind of looks around and then looks back at you. Unless maybe magic?
I wish Garnica was here. She'd probably be able to, turn into snow or something. I don't know if that's better.
I'm gonna look down at the ring on my hand at him and say, "Alright, brother. I need your decision making. Stop lounging. Get your ass out here. Come on." And I'm gonna start shaking it and rubbing it into the dirt, spitting on it. Come on.
Fine. I'll pop out of it, and then I'll say, mighty Vin, you will get 3 wishes as I
Shut up.
materialize out of the vessel.
You were a genie this whole time?
Yeah, it was. I was trying to be. It's comfy in there, guys.
Why don't we just wish for him to be...
So I guess I'm in the storm and all this stuff, and now it's hitting me. I'm gonna pick up my ring, Adam, of course, and put it on.
Okay, sure.
I can't imagine that they would be able to make progress in this unless they are not caught in it like we are, but...
That's what I'm saying. If we're bunkered down, they're bunkered down, I mean, let's just find a place and... I mean, this has got Rhyme of the Frost Maiden written all over it. Come on.
Watch out for avalanches.
Woo! Oh, God.
Well, if you see some place that we could, wait this out, I guess we can.
Well, why don't we make a check? Have you guys looked around? Sorry. I actually was AFK for 30 seconds. So
I think we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We don't know how big this storm is. The investigators could use it as a 2-hour, 3-hour buffer to get to the hamlet. We could try.
Let's say if we want to actually do this, let's just try at least and see how bad it is. If it turns out really bad, then we try to find shelter.
All right, so still beeline for the hamlet then?
Oh, I
No,
think
it's
that's
for the
fine.
logging camp. Still.
Beeline for the... Okay, the logging camp. All right.
I'm agreeing with Blixo. I don't know if we want to put it to a vote, but I'm cool with that if anybody else wants to stay instead.
And I'll look around and say, "You brought the lad? I thought we were going to the hamlet." Then
Okay, I'm gonna say this again.
yeah, here we go. No, okay, fine. That if you brought the wee pup, then we got to drop him off at the logging camp. We're off.
For some reason, Celine has a real soft spot for this jerk.
I don't know why.
Me neither.
It's the first person she kissed.
No,
What?
that
It's
didn't
raining
happen.
in my mouth. It is true. Don't lie.
All right, so you guys continue making your way to the logging camp, spending about another hour of travel as you do so. You're about halfway there to the best of your knowledge, and yes, the weather unfortunately has gotten even worse. I would like everybody to go ahead and throw me a Constitution saving throw. You can do this publicly.
Is this by chance for exhaustion, Adam?
It is.
I have a feat that will help me against this.
Can I spend my inspiration?
You certainly can.
Yeah. I don't like to fumble on anything, but we'll see if anyone else does first. So.
Oh my god, I rolled the same thing twice.
Goodness,
Oh wait, but
guys.
oh,
I'm
but I
the
got a
only
plus one.
I'm gonna. What happened with the +1?
It's me and Serena. We're
Okay.
used to it.
I'm
We've
going
hunted
to.
in this.
I'm going to do inspiration, Adam.
Okay. Go ahead and click your inspiration button.
Sorry,
there.
there's a lot going on right now.
No worries. All right, so that was a 2 with your weariness. So you finished your short rest. Did you indicate what you took as your short rest option?
No, I didn't, but I took weariness away, so I took 2 away. My constitution modifier is 2, so I took 2 weariness away.
Okay, so it looks like that still applied it. So did you take that off from your token?
No, there's no token, so I was waiting for next.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're just going to ignore that. So okay. So just doing a quick double check. So Baron, Blixel, Saline.
Oh wait, so if that 11 was a 13, I would have. Fuck, never mind.
Right. Yep. So you see where I was going with that. All right. So Blixel, Tavern, Saline, Bairn. So everybody except Serena and Vin will have failed this save. So what you're realizing is this cold is just really starting to get to you. After traveling in the cold for this long, not being near a heat source, each of you that failed this is going to suffer 1 level of weariness. Now, Vin, you said you had something special, but because you saved, I'm assuming it doesn't matter. You're good?
The special is just Die Hard gives me advantage on saving throws against effects that cause you to suffer a level of exhaustion. So I would have had advantage on that, but 16 was better anyways. So
Stinky actually does not need to make a check. Being totally covered in fur, he is totally good for cold weather.
sweet. Some of you look a little rough. Are you sure you want to keep going in this?
No,
We
should find a place to stop.
Stinky,
Hate.
see if you can find somewhere that seems a good place. I'll help you. Serena, you too. You look okay.
Does he roll for nature or something?
So this would be essentially survival, which is a wisdom check for Stinky.
I don't think our tokens are on the side of this map, Adam.
I don't think they are either, so you feel free to, just drag them on and we'll move them as necessary.
Am I blind
Do I need
checking
to
too?
do that before I roll for Stinky?
I'm trying to remember if I built in NPC blind checks. I don't think I did, so just do a GM roll for that one, Libby.
I'm gonna help as well, Adam, so I don't know if that gives Stinky advantage or what.
He's not proficient. Are you proficient in survival?
I am, yeah.
So honestly, probably you should make the roll, and he will try to help you, but it's not going to do much for you. But go ahead and throw me a blind check.
But I can help. I'm pretty good at finding things like that,
Yeah.
hopefully. Unless
I
I
think
roll
there's-
ones.
There's a handful of us that have proficiency in survival, so
Yeah, me too.
perfect. So cool. I'll go ahead and give it a shot, Adam. And let's say I got a hero point too, so I'll throw the hero point on it,
Okay.
and then blind check, right?
Yes.
Will you let me know if I fail, and I'll use my inspiration?
With the 6 from the hero point, that is a success. So essentially what that means in this area, you search around for, say, 20 minutes or so, and you can find a section where the new growth trees kind of give way to a very small copse of old growth trees. You realize this almost looks like the land all around here has been cut down and then replanted, except for this little, copse. It's probably 60 feet in diameter, not very big, but these trees are very thick with a lot of covers, so think really big pines of various sizes, and you realize that if you kind of go in the middle of these, you'll be protected from the worst of the wind. You'll still get, the rain on top of you, and you start to hear, again, the sound of thunder. You're not sure this is going to protect you from lightning, but it's much better than just being out in the open.
Over here.
While we're there, could I attempt to build a lean-to?
Sure, yeah, if you're wanting to spend the time to look for like downed limbs and things and try to build a lean-to.
Yeah, while we're in the little area.
Okay, you can go ahead and throw a blind check as well then, Serena. Anything else anybody else is doing?
Just making sure everybody gets into that little outcropping and grove of trees to get everybody out of the wind. No one be a hero.
Okay, so then the plan is that Serena's going to attempt to craft a lean-to here. Serena, the wind is strong. It is kind of blocked a bit by this area that you have found. However, the rain is still coming down pretty hard, and it seems to be picking up in pace. You're looking around for wood. You are finding some down limbs. You realize a lot of this is really, really old. Like you pick it up, and it's kind of that wood that just breaks right in half as you pick it up. You're not finding much of good quality here to build a lean-to.
Bummer.
Okay, so team, it sounds like you're trying to spend some time here. You realize it is still cold. It is still very cold out, but you're kind of protected from the wind. Is there anything else you're doing here before just passing time?
Celine, that disc you have, could we build a fire underneath it? It would protect it from the rain. We'll protect it from the wind, so it should keep it up so we could stay warm. We could send Stinky ahead to see if maybe he could beat the storm towards the logging camp and we could meet him there.
I don't know if it's a good idea for the bear to show up alone at the logging camp after we told them that we
Not all
took care
the
of the problem.
way. He's not going to go in and say, "Hi, I'm Mr. Bear." Just
Oh, well, you should have
outside.
specified, because, you know.
Well, you're so specific. You should have picked up on the generosity, the generality. Damn it. See, your technicality makes me bad with words. Can we get to the first question, though? Can we do your disc and then a fire underneath?
Maybe? Does that work? How far above the ground does the disc float?
Getting creative here. 3 feet?
Floats 3 feet above the ground in an unoccupied space. We can build a small fire, maybe.
We could build one that's enough to keep you guys warm.
Well, yeah, the problem is getting it lit in this rain in the first place, but...
We get it lit under the disc.
Yeah, but all the wood around here is wet because of the rain.
I guess that's true, but we could snap some of these torches we have, or just set a few of them, like 5 or 6 down and light them all, right? Anybody have a
Assuming
lantern?
torches have been protected in our backpacks for this time, I suppose.
Well, as seasoned adventurers, what do you do with your torches? You just wave them around willy-nilly.
I don't need torches, I can see in the dark just fine. Human.
Luxury.
Samesies.
Oh, wow. Human.
You're kidding.
I think if we do that, we should be fine. Even so, does anybody have oil? Maybe a lantern that we could just tap the oil from? That would help ignite it anyways.
Let me check my inventory.
And don't some of you, like, magic casters, don't you guys have some fires, something or other, that you could light torches anyway?
So, Adam, I have 6 torches in my bag, so is the disc still up with branch over top of it, I'm assuming?
Based on this additional period of travel, he would have awoken, and I imagine the disc would be getting ready to fade. So unless you're trying to intentionally keep him there, I imagine he's sort of slid off, and he's kind of looking at all of you, realizing that you're, trying to hunker down here a bit. He kind of just like sits up against a tree and kind of sulks.
He's naked, by the way.
You guys stripped him of all of his clothes?
We stripped him of his armor.
Well, he's semi-naked, I suppose.
He's getting pretty cold, we'll say.
All right. So with the disc, since it's still up, anyways, Vin will get underneath it, pull out his pack, and then before he pulls his torches out, Adam, does it feel dry underneath it, underneath the disc? I mean, he kind of has to crawl on his hands and knees a little bit, but
So, I mean, the ground is not dry because it's been getting pelted by rain for a while now. But yes, when you put your hand under there, it does not seem as though the falling rain goes through the disc. It is, splattering on the disc. And after a period of time, think of this as almost like a kitchen plate that you have the faucet on, right? Water just starts running off in each of the directions. I imagine the disc is floating pretty much level. So the water is kind of like equally rolling off each of the sides and creating little tiny puddles and streams.
okay. So I'll underneath the safety of everything, I'll take out
I'll begin recasting it if I need to while he's doing this, so it doesn't fade in the middle of trying to light the fire.
what is
Blix
it
will
grass?
cast Prestidigitation.
Okay,
Uh,
for which
what-
purpose?
You instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
So what specifically are you trying to light? The torch that is in Vin's hand?
Yep.
Not yet, not yet. Wait, wait. So Adam, I'm gonna just take my shovel out and I'm gonna dig a little hole, Adam, underneath it, so it dries out the land a little bit. And then I'm gonna take all the torches and stuff them in, and then I'll look at Blixel.
So what I will say is, doing that, you realize by digging a hole underneath the disc, as the water runs off and hits the ground, it's going to then run right into your hole.
What if we built a moat around the hole that he's being double
You
dig,
could do that.
double down?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so basically what I'm getting at is this is a bit involved. So you spend a time here, you're creating like a channel so that all the water that's leaking off hits the channel and then like is diverted away from your campfire. You then dig a little bit, of the really wet ground and try to get that off of the surface. So yeah, you've got kind of like a crevice now with a channel around it, and you've got it stuffed with, how many torches are you putting in there?
I've got 6, so I might as well put all 6 in there.
All right, so you throw all 6 torches in there, and then you let Blixel know, and Blixel using prestidigitation to start the fire.
All right.
All right, so yes, you see this small campfire pops into existence, and yeah, you can hear the sound of the crackling flames as the torches are alit.
And are we covered by anything, or no?
You're not. You're in an area of thick trees, so you're kind of like in a real, think of this as like a bunch of pines, some large, some smaller, spaced out pretty tightly, but you're in like an area where they're not so tight that you can all kind of sit around. You're kind of protected from the winds a bit, but the rain is still falling down upon you freely, and it is still very cold. Obviously, this little fire will help somewhat, but it's certainly not as warm as you'd like.
I'll invite Brance over to join us around. Come sit.
He does pretty quickly, as you see. Do you guys still have him bound, like his hands are tied and his feet are tied?
I think he said he took his rope back, so he wouldn't
Yeah,
be.
no, I haven't bound him,
Okay.
so he's just...
So he just
weaponless.
walks forwardly. Yeah, he has the cheapo dagger you left him, right?
No, when we woke him up, we left that behind. He
Okay,
doesn't have
fair
any
enough.
weapons.
Okay, so he'll just kind of get closer. He will sit sort of like cross-legged and then stretch his hands out, trying to warm up by the fire.
Where are you from, Brent?
You see he kind of looks up towards you. Here.
Here's where. Where were you born?
You see he kind of points off to the northwest. Small village that way. Why do you care?
You don't need to know why I care about the people of this place. But I do.
You see he looks at you, looks back to the magical floating disc above the fire, shakes his head under his breath. You hear something very quiet. You're pretty sure it's something about witches before he just lowers his head and looks at the fire.
Without the witch, we wouldn't have this nice fire.
You could say you're sorry,
He does
Mend a
not
fence or
respond.
two?
All right, so I imagine you guys are just trying to get up close to this fire and pass the time and hope that the storm passes by?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm assuming shouldn't assume, but are we able to take a short rest while we wait it out?
You can, yes. Who would like to spend a short rest during this time?
I don't know if I can because I think I have to maintain the disc, right? It's a ritual cast, so that would be too involved for it.
No, I think you're okay because I'll just say you're going to be here a while, so yes, you will
Right.
have time.
Then I would like to attempt to attune to the not suppository thing. And see
All right.
if
So you spend
the
a short
process-
rest. I'll go ahead and burn that. Make sure you pick what you're doing for a short rest, and yes, you are able to attune. I'll reveal those details to you shortly. Is anybody else wanting to short rest?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and just type into chat what short rest option you are taking, Blixel, and I'll go ahead and apply one for you as well.
I'm keeping watch at him. I don't need a short rest right now, but I'm going to kind of turn my back towards the fire and, look out, see if I can see if anything's breaking or any possibility of anybody else traveling through this.
Okay.
Hey, Adam. What are your short rest rules? How long do you need to be before I'm allowed to take another short rest?
You could take another one right away, just 2 in a day max.
And what time of day do we leave to head towards the logging camp?
Leave from Rundale. You guys left pretty early. You got held up in the inn, so you probably didn't get out of there until we'll say 9:30 in the morning approximately. Then got over to the Bear Cave at like 10:30ish, and then started leaving from there to come down here. So you're guessing it's probably somewhere early afternoon, like 1:30 or so right now.
Okay. And I have I have weariness because of the saving throw.
You do, yes.
Okay, I'll take a short rest.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna take it too.
And I guess I'll play a song of rest while I'm doing this short rest.
Okay, yep.
So everyone, I guess, do I just roll once for that for everyone?
I forget. I think they get to roll their own die, don't they? Go ahead and post the text. And then also, yeah, so they get to roll a d6. Okay, so during this time, you guys are short resting, so that was like within the first hour. After that first hour is up, you've recovered what you've recovered based on your short rest, but I'll need everybody to give me another Constitution saving throw. Thanks to the fire here, all of you will be making this check at advantage.
Great. What could go wrong?
All right, so Baron, you will fail and take another level of weariness. Tavern, Celine, Vin, Serena will all succeed. Blixel, you will also fail and take a level of weariness.
So it's still taking the 2 off Adam every time I do this because I can't change my weariness, just so you know.
You know what? Just for ease of access to tokens, let me move you guys back here for just a moment. So this will give you access to your tokens, and you should be able to see the little red thing where your weariness is at. That'll make it a little bit easier to do all of that tracking. All right.
My red circle says 30. I think my red circle shows my speed.
It shows 0 for me.
Okay, so
Oh, the token
after-
on the inside. I see. Okay, I was clicking
Yeah,
the big one on
only
the side.
yeah. Those are all from when the game was first set up. Definitely don't use those.
So after my short rest, I was at 0 weariness.
And then you just
And-
took 1 level from the cold.
Okay.
Okay, so after that, the weather has not broken yet. In fact, it's gotten worse, if anything. You can see that the weather is just getting really, really bad. The wind is whipping so bad that the trees that you guys are nearby, sometimes you see them kind of sagging a bit, at least the piney thistles and that sort of stuff. But you notice outside of your little protected area here, it is really bad. Like you can actually see like some downed limbs and things actually get picked up by this wind and flung through the air. You can see occasionally like small debris like kind of gets thrown. You're getting the impression that this wind is just getting really, really strong.
And I'm assuming we haven't seen it like this for years, kind of thing, or how would you describe that?
So I would say if you were at the hamlet and this kind of weather happened, everybody would go inside. Nobody would be outside, right? Unless you had no other option. If you were outside, you would try to find some kind of cover, maybe a cave, maybe, something like you guys are in now. This is probably like a once in a year kind of storm is how bad this feels right now.
I maybe, since I seem to be better attired, maybe I should look and see if I can find us an even better spot.
I can go too. Same with Stinky. He looks okay. The three of us could see if we could find a cave ahead. Come back and get you. Some of
Just
you
what
look
they
like
say
shit.
about splitting the party.
If we get attacked, we'll just let the storm deal with them.
I'm more concerned about the camp, but
I'm more concerned about visibility. Just if you're going to head out, just remember how to find us.
I mean, or we could just sit here and get hit by trees.
So just to clarify, it doesn't look like the trees are going to fall down on you. These are old growth trees, so they're very strong, but you are really feeling the intensity of the wind.
That was hyperbole.
Okay, fair enough. Just a game of imagination. I want to make sure we're all on the same page.
going out there is crazy to me.
AKA our saving throw next time will be harder.
You ever
Unless any of
think
you
it's the
magic
will
folk
of the
has
gods?
something to do with,
Yeah, maybe some of you could start praying to your deities while we look for some shelter.
And whether by providence or just pure luck, as you're having this conversation, a bolt of lightning strikes down probably 100 feet or so north of you, hitting into a tree, and you hear this loud cracking sound as it splits this trunk, and you hear as it kind of breaks and falls over.
Blixel immediately starts praying.
Maybe maybe that is a sign that we shouldn't hang around here, but I just don't. Going out in that seems like it's gonna be a big
We're
problem
in
for
it.
all of us.
We are out in it.
Yeah.
Well, this area is a little protected, though.
Okay, we'll just
Of
sit
course.
here. If a branch heads towards us, I'll try to block it out of the way.
Hey, it's like in this little grove of trees, we're not getting hit by the same damage the storm is outside of it.
You're protected from the wind, right? So
Yeah.
if you were to walk outside, you feel like you guys might get thrust right to the ground by how strong these winds are. You are protected from the wind, but the rain is still falling down upon you, and that lightning bolt was certainly too close for comfort.
Yeah, but where do we go? Is the problem.
Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Just painting a picture here, guys.
From our knowledge of where we're at, Adam, in this forest, we used to see it because we haven't been this far before, but when we traveled to Rendell and we came up this way, did we see anything or maybe be reminded of anything at this point that would be good for cover?
I mean, I don't think you guys were looking for anything at that point, so I would say nothing's just going to stick out in your memory.
Can we tell based on, like, I guess that one lightning bolt was right overhead, but on
It was
average,
100 feet away from you, but again, while you're 100 feet sounds far, but when it's a lightning bolt, it doesn't feel far enough.
I know. What I'm saying is, based on the sounds of thunder, like on average where it is over the past I guess, hour and a half we've been sitting here, do we get a sense of which direction the storm is moving in?
Good question. Go ahead and throw me a blind check, Saline.
Good question indeed.
Blind check is a button on this other tab. There we go.
Yes, you're pretty familiar with nature patterns. Maybe you've read against some of this, had some discussion with your grandparents on some of the worst weather. In this area of Anweer, especially north of the mountains, the Stone Crone Mountains, it's known for like heavy storms and things to pass over the mountains and then fall down upon. So typically that means that the weather in this area moves from southeast to southwest. So you feel like this is passing over you right now. You're not sure how much longer it's going to last. You're not sure if you're in the middle of it yet, but you know it's going from your southeast to your northwest.
Okay.
Does everything go deathly still?
You're
That was a
asking if we're
hurricane
in the
joke.
eye of the storm? I don't think so.
Yeah.
If you know that, can you pick a safe direction for us to start moving to potentially get us out quicker?
Well, the safe direction would be southeast, right? Because the storm is going northwest, and so if we move southeast, we would get out of it faster.
Yeah.
That seems
that's what I'm
likely.
saying.
But through
Okay.
the wind is going to slow us down a lot. So I'm uncertain if...
I think Serena has something she posted earlier that would combat that.
where
For
did she-
myself.
Oh, it's not your party?
No.
I wasn't paying attention. What did she do? Oh.
She
When the
posted it
going
earlier.
gets tough, I get going. I can move fast and I can go for 10 hours without getting exhausted.
Yeah, I would say this feature will not help you with the wind. So essentially what this would do is if you're by yourself, you could move fast, meaning you'd get there quicker, and you would not suffer the typical penalties for moving at a fast pace instead of a normal pace. But it certainly doesn't protect from gale force winds.
It's
Brent,
pretty.
do you know any villages around here? In between Rendell and the southern logging camp? Any small camps or anything?
You see he takes his eyes off the fire for a moment, he looks up at you, and he shakes his head no.
We could see if we could find one of those things the logging camp uses, like the lookout post. But, I mean, I think our best bet at this point, even though it may be a little dangerous, is to move southeast because we're still going to get battered by the storm, but maybe we can at least get out of it quicker if we go that direction. But the wind is going to be a problem because it's going to really slow us down, and it's going to make things a lot harder.
That's the dilemma, right? Like, we can stay here and weather the storm the way we know we're kind of able to, or we can risk it and go out and...
I'm pretty tired and cold, I'll tell you that much, so...
Yeah, and every time we fail, it's gonna get harder as well. It keeps stacking up, so...
So let's just stay and see if we can ride it out, you know? I mean, this is the best we can do. I mean, if it seems like it's taking too many hours, though, we'll need to move. At least find a cave or something.
That's why I was offering to look myself, since it doesn't seem to be affecting me as badly. But if we all want to stay, we can stay.
If you want to like do a little scout around and see if there's any sort of caves nearby, a warmer place for us to rest.
That was the idea.
I think you can go with Stinky, too.
Well, I'm all for that.
And then...
Never-
that sounds like at least a decent plan. I mean, instead of moving, we could at least see if you can combat it long enough to find us a safer spot.
It's very risky, though. Like,
You could get lost, and that would be even worse. My vote is stay together, weather it out, see if we can beat the time, and if it gets too bad, then we move. But I'm saying that with full health and no levels of exhaustion or weariness, so...
Also, that was the original plan, and it did get worse.
Yep. Well, if you guys don't want to split the party,
What if I promise I don't wander off too far?
I think
Sure,
it's a
Saline.
risk. If you want to take it, you take it. You know.
But take it with Stinky at least. So you'll have someone with you. If you're alright with that, Stinky.
You see he kind of looks up again towards the trees, looks back towards the fire. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll try taking a step out of the grove to see if the wind is even, like, withstandable when you don't have protection.
All right, yeah, good idea. So as you kind of stand up and you make your way out of this thick copse of trees, the wind starts pushing very strongly. You can see there is an area where, like, when you kind of stand, you're still kind of protected a bit, but you can, like, reach your hand out and you can feel the pressure of this wind. It's pushing again from like a southeast to a northwest direction. So as you're kind of exiting the copse here, you're not fully exiting, but just testing the wind, it's essentially pushing you away from the copse. So you realize if you walk in that direction, it'd be easy to do so, but if you turn around and tried to come back, it would be like essentially difficult terrain. You can almost think of it as you're pushing against the wind. It's that strong to try to get back this way.
Wait, the wind is blowing to the southeast?
No, it's coming from the southeast to the northwest.
Which direction is Serena trying to go?
So I'm visualizing this as if you're exiting the copse. So think of this as walking northwest out of the copse. As soon as you get out of where the thick trees are, that's where she can feel the wind pretty strong. So think of this as almost like a funnel effect, where the wind wraps around the copse of trees from both sides and then is thrusting to the northwest.
So what if you go the other direction, Serena, and then fight the wind on the way there, and then get pushed here on the way back?
I turn to Stinky and I'm like, what do you think?
You see he looks out again and looks back towards the fire, looks towards you. If you really want to.
What's the first world rule of survival is to stay together and don't wander off.
That's the Boy Scout in you. I'm fine with that too. Let's just hold together. Stay strong.
Pretty strong.
All right, so it sounds like you guys want to try to just weather this out.
I don't see an
Yeah.
option. I don't see another
go
option that isn't like
Back to the
suicidal.
fire.
Great.
Okay, fair enough. So I will say that after another half hour or so, the torches that you've thrown in there look like they're mostly burnt up. You're definitely going to need some more kind of fuel to keep your fire going.
I've got 10 in my pack. You can take however
I got
many.
10 also.
I'll provide some too.
All right, so
I guess
whoever
this
wants,
is a
just
bit-
deduct 5, and we'll assume that keeps it going for the next hour or so. So after that hour, everyone go ahead and throw me another Constitution saving throw at advantage because the fire's still going.
Can I spend a hero point on
You
that?
can, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have used them, or we lost them, or something, because I actually have 0. So
Okay, unfortunately then, you will suffer a level of weariness here, Blixels. You just can't seem to get warm even though you're by the fire.
Can I give him my inspiration, Adam?
Yeah, you're talking about like DM inspiration, reroll?
Yeah, can I take my inspiration that I have and give it to Blixel to
You
reroll?
can, yep.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll burn mine now so he can have it.
You throw cloak over him.
I'll
Okay.
burn inspiration as well.
So is it just another Constitution save roll for me? Oh no, you
Yes.
used that. Okay.
Yeah, so even though he's burning the inspiration, it's your roll. So go ahead and throw a new Constitution save, Blixel.
Much better, buddy. Yeah. A warm blanket, ain't it, bud?
Okay, so with those modifiers, everybody succeeds this time. I'm just doing a quick double check with
All right.
advantage. Yeah, looks like everybody's good.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay, so another hour has passed. You can hear the sound of the storm beginning to lessen now.
Hey Adam, well I should say, hey group, did anyone deduct the 5 torches? Because I don't mind doing it, I just want to make sure for good housekeeping.
I did. I typed it in chat.
Oh, okay, thanks. I didn't do it with all the saving throws. Thanks.
Is
I
it
could use the weight reduction anyway.
Is the lessening enough that we feel like we can get up and start moving at him?
You certainly can. You're not out of it yet, but it doesn't seem like it's at its height.
So now if we started moving in that southeast direction, we could probably push out of it a lot quicker. I'm guessing.
Could test the wind again.
But
I could go do
also,
that.
aren't we wanting to go a little... Are we heading south? Oh yeah, we're heading southeast anyway, right? Map-wise?
Oh,
You are,
I
yes.
think, yeah. I think it's conveniently the direction we need to go, actually.
So as you test the wind this time, Serena, it is still strong, but you don't feel like it's going to prevent you from moving in a direction. You realize that if you, again, had any kind of like a torch or a candle, it's very likely it would go out really quickly, but it's not so strong that it's going to thrust you.
Do I think that Celine would blow away?
No.
Okay, I tell everybody that I think it might be tolerable.
Okay. Lead the way.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you guys leave there. It's later afternoon, 3-ish p.m., something like that, as you guys leave the copse and make your way further down to the logging camp. After traveling for another hour, I will need everybody to give me another Constitution saving throw. No longer next to the fire. This will be a straight-up roll.
Mine still has advantage because of Die Hard at him.
Yes. Oh, someone's spending a
Oh.
card.
Who did
I'll
that?
use the luck point to reroll.
Yeah, I try to do it quicker. Is it too late?
Nope, you're good. Okay, so you and your group gain advantage on your next saving throw within 1 minute. So looking at the checks there, Blixel, unfortunately, you will still fail. Celine, you said you spend a luck point.
If I fail, can I add a hero point on top of it?
With your con bonus, that's a success, so you're good. Baron, unfortunately, you still fail. So, yeah, so we've got Baron failed and Blixel failed. So one more weariness for both of you. Okay, and then, yes, you guys are still trying to just push through, doing what you can to make distance. And it seems like as you travel the last, 45 minutes or so, the worst of the weather really starts tapering off.
See, guys, easy peasy.
This is why I like observing nature from a safe distance.
I want to kind of shake off like a dog. Try to get as much of the water off of me as I can.
It is still raining, just very lightly, and there's still a wind, just a light one. All right,
That
I
was
assume
just
you
a baby
guys.
storm.
I assume you guys just push to the logging camp as you realize you're getting pretty close at this point.
Yeah, but I just want to be clear that we're not going to go into it. We're just going to make our way to the edge of it and then come up with a plan on how to go inside and who goes inside and what questions we ask.
Okay, fair enough. You travel for another 40 minutes or so and find yourself at the edge of the logging camp. You have to presume it's somewhere around 4 p.m. in the afternoon by this point.
Okay, and we're gonna leave Stinky with Brant, maybe 10, 15 feet away while we discuss so he can't overhear us.
Okay.
with enough guard dog duty that he knows that if he moves just a little bit, Stinky has full privilege just to eat him. All right. So
Yummy.
someone needs to go in, return Brant's, saying we found him wandering in the storm with some spellcasters who had compelled him. And then,
Isn't he just gonna tell him the truth?
I mean, that's what he'll tell him anyways. After that is gone down, somebody needs to separate themselves and talk to Darwin and see if we can get information about these investigators. But he may be on alert for us. If Reince thinks that we are who maybe he thinks we are, Darwin may be ready for us, which we don't want that. We've already seen what they can do.
So if you think that we could be walking into danger, why are you wanting someone to go in there?
Let's all go. We'll just leave Stinky.
I'm thinking a few of us could go on top there, overlooking, just in case any trouble breaks out. You can pop off some shots with some arrows or magic or whatever.
My magic's is more close range than that, so
I have no magic, so I agree. But this is what I'm saying. We maybe before we go in, we go up to the top and scout. Maybe they're still there.
You mean
Okay.
maybe the investigators are still there?
Exactly. And then we never have to go inside. We wait for them to leave and catch them out here. If we don't see them, then we have to assume that they're probably on their way to the hamlet, but we have to confirm it, right?
well, who's the sneakiest one of us that can see the best?
I bet that could be me. And I roll great too.
I would say in terms of sneakiness, Tavard and I probably take the cake, yeah. He sees better than I.
All right, why
I
don't you
also
guys
have
go up there and check it out?
I also have a bloodline bonus there.
I'm not too bad. But I'm not proficient.
Well, I don't think you should be seen doing it, but if you guys think you can be sneaky about it, why don't you guys go up there and check it out? We'll wait it back here.
Where are we standing exactly?
You said you guys wanted to not go into the camp, so I'm assuming you're probably, I don't know, 200 yards or something like that, northwest out of the camp. So if you remember the camp map, think you're just off map.
So we're still in the valley, though. Do we think that, with our experience having gone up to the ridge, anyone on the lookout would be able to see us from where we are?
If they were in one of the, I think there's only one outpost still there that hasn't been destroyed. If they were there intentionally looking your way, possibly.
We could wrap around to that tree, Tavard and I, make our way up, sneak down.
I just really don't understand the value of us splitting up that far, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading a description in Discord. Why are we sneaking? What's the purpose of approaching the camp?
To see if the investigators are here, right?
Let me give you the worst case scenario. We walk up, hey, Darwin, nice to be back. And he goes, get them. And then 30 dudes start attacking us.
No, the worst scenario is, hi, I came sneaking in your camp with one dude, and 30 dudes come after you.
We're not going into camp. We're going up to the ridge and we're trying to look down on the camp sneakily to see if we can see if the investigators are there with Darvin. We could all do that, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying is that if we can do a little recon first,
Right.
if you
I'm
want to
not
get an idea.
disagreeing. This is Bill, not Tavern talking, but I don't disagree with your idea of looking over the ridge. I just think that splitting up the party too much is just not in the best interest. That much there.
Because let's think of it. Let's think of it this way. Riot sent investigators to question us. We don't even know if that's true, but we're assuming it is, right? What would those investigators give to Darvin? What would be the first thing that they start asking him? Because he would want to know what's up. So he would say they would tell them, Ryan wants us information about so and so, right?
Right,
So
but information does not mean, hi, please kill them on sight, right? I mean, we don't know what they're investigating, is my point, right? We don't know if they're investigating, they're not assassins, right? So, I mean, this is also jumping to the conclusion that this is going to be a battle, which it may or may not. I'm just saying there is a lot of speculation on both sides.
exactly, which is why if to take speculation away, we sneak up to the top and put some eyes on it just to get an idea of what we're walking into.
Right, but nobody's disagreeing with going up to the ridge. I haven't heard any disagreement anyway. If anyone going up to the ridge and looking over, I think at least my point is let's not split up too much. I mean, if we're splitting up where somebody's only like 40, 40 feet behind, sure. But
Okay, so I mean
I
that would be
mean,
fine. But I
it's
mean,
the same map. It's not like
right.
I agree with Libby, right? It's not like we're splitting up to the point where like we're going miles and miles away. We're just gonna a couple of us, preferably those that aren't a -2, -3 to all saves, ability checks, and attack rolls, to go put some eyes on this place and sneak past any guards that may be up there, and then come back and relay that information to the entire party so we have a good idea of what plan to go forward with. Do we walk in the front door or do we all go up to the top and
But
sneak down?
you're going from one extreme. You're going all I'm saying is that I don't want to break up the party so much that we don't have the ability to get with the other party members if something did go bad. That's all I'm saying. All the other, but what if? Nobody's arguing that point.
So it sounds like, if I'm summarizing, one idea on the table is have people sneak up the log to get up to the ridge, while some of the other people who aren't very sneaky wait at the bottom. And the other idea is everybody tries to climb the log to go up to the ridge. Is those the two options on the table?
Sounds like it, yes.
Okay. Does anybody besides Vin or Tavern have any thoughts on those two options?
I mean, Blixel's pretty tired, guys. Had three weariness here.
I just think if the investigators have signaled to them, if we're accepting the worst case scenario here, that the investigators have told these people to be on high alert for us until like attack on site or whatever, then they would have someone posted in the watchtower, and they've almost certainly seen us by this point. If they're like if their intention is to keep a sharp eye out for us, so I see the sneaking around as drawing suspicion to us. I mean, we could just pat Brance on the back and send him inside and just not worry about it, but I feel like Darvin has a different impression of us than Ryan's did, unless they told him like everything we did, but I don't know if they would know that, the investigators. I don't know if Ryan's would have shared that with them. So if we sneak around, that gives him reason to be suspicious of us. If we walk through the door with a lost logger and say, "Hey, we found this guy and we brought him here to safety," that is like that's a good Samaritan task that would at least buy us like get us ingratiated with them a little bit. I don't know. I'm wary of sneaking around with these people, I guess.
Okay, so it sounds like third option on the table, just walk up into the logging camp.
I when I jumped in the ring, I thought we were going to Hamlet, and so now and it's been admittedly including everyone here is like confused about everything, but like Darvin's going to tell the investigators how awesome we are, so we don't need to worry about that. The investigators are going to say, "What do you know about these guys?" He's going to say, "Oh, these guys are great. They did this, this, and this, right?" And we sent the letter, and they, sent it to VAR. Like it's, so now we're here. I say, pat the dude on the back and say good luck, and we go home to the hamlet.
And just ignore the investigators?
Yes, because what, I get your point, but I think Tegan and going home is better. Like we did the Good Samaritan, we dropped him off. I don't. Now that we're here, I mean, what I say we walk. Either we walk. We gotta walk in. What's Darwin gonna arrest us? Seriously, after all that we've done, he's not gonna do that.
I mean, the
He's
gate's
under
closed.
orders, right? He works for Ryans,
Yeah,
right?
I understand
If
that. So
Ryan
he's gonna.
says capture them,
So he's gonna capture us and say, "Hey, dude, get out of here. Make yourself scarce."
They don't. He doesn't work for Ryans. They're like
yeah, this logging camp is
competitors.
in Ryan's province. Guys, he's the guild master of Mountain's Edge. So every logging camp within this entire province reports to Ryan's. Every single one of them.
Well, if he wanted to give that order, we would never have left town.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite at the point where it's like these people need to be arrested. He's still gathering information on us. Now,
Yeah.
if these
Yeah.
investigators make it back to Rendale with incriminating information, then he might send out an order. But I think we're ahead of that, especially with the storm slowing anyone down coming from that direction.
Okay.
So now that we're here, I say we walk in with this guy, and Darvin's gonna be our friend. But if they really wanted to arrest us, we wouldn't have ever left town. He doesn't need to get any more information. If he wanted information from Darvin to give him more probable cause to arrest us or whatever, he's not going to get it because Darvin loves us. There's
So
no
what?
reason for that.
So here's the side thing. You walk into the logging camp, and due to that storm, guess who's still there? The investigators, who are
Then you got your
asking
wish.
questions about us.
Yeah, and then you got
Inside
your
of a
wish.
logging camp? What, we're gonna question the investigators about us inside of a logging camp?
No, I
surrounded
I'd
by
never
their...
said to question them, but you wanted to know what they said, so perfect. We can overhear it. We're like, oh, hey, what's up? Hey, aren't you from that city? Hey, what's up, Darvin? What's up? Hang low, high five. What's going on?
Bro,
I'm hearing 2 votes for just walk in so far, and I don't mean to kill conversation, but I do feel like you guys are spending a lot of time on this, so I just want to try to get us to like a vote, right? So we've got like 1 for sneak up, split the party, some sneak up. We got 1 for everybody climbs up the ridge. We've got 2 for just walk into the camp. Do we have any other ideas on the floor?
Well, let me amend my vote a little bit. Sorry to drag this out, but like we can also just walk. The gates are closed. Like they don't just let anyone in. So we could approach the gates and try to get a vibe from like the people who are watching it. Like if they have weapons in hand and seem like suspicious of us, if there's something seems off, we don't have to go inside, you know? So we don't necessarily need to go in, but I feel like sneaking in and
And I feel like that kind of is still on the same line of walk to the camp, though, right?
yeah,
'Cause-
walk up to the
Approach the
camp,
front
not
door.
necessarily go inside and like surrender all our weapons and say, "Hey, please don't kill us."
Right? No, we're not even
Yeah.
even close to that yet. We're just approach the
Yeah.
camp visibly.
That may, like, a million things may happen, but we can't plan for everything. So I'm just gonna say, let's go to the camp.
All right, I feel like we've got
See
at least
what
3
happens.
votes now, based on what I just heard from everybody. So I'm going to move everybody to that map, and you guys are coming in from the northwest.
I'm just gonna go on record that I think that this is a bad idea. I'm getting the Dylan spider sense about bad ideas for us to wander into. It's just going off in my head. That's just all I'm gonna say. It's just ding, 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 ding. Just walking in
We
there sounds
gathered
like
that
the
from
worst
your vote.
idea.
I would say also, like, Ben has agency for his own character. You know, you obviously can do with your character what you wish. So I would say if you wanted to solo sneak up there, you would just not be involved in whatever happens in the logging camp unless you were able to come down.
All right, also just
reason
FYI,
why-
I'm not going to put Brant's on the screen. I'm assuming he's behind you guys, and you're just kind of like, you're basically expecting him to follow. Or no, I'm sorry, you said you left Brant's behind with Stinky, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought that was just for the purposes of discussing what we were going to do.
Okay, so then let's just clear that up real quick. Do you guys want Brant's or Stinky to come with you?
I thought we were gonna return Brant's and say that's why we're here.
If we're walking through the gates, we need to bring Brant's with us.
Okay, so then I'm assuming Brant's is with you. I don't have his token on the map right now, but you can assume he's in tow.
Stay here, Stinky.
Stinky agrees and stays a little bit off map in the woods.
Watch out for weird bugs.
If you see a misplaced hunting trap, it's mine.
I think we're gonna get you one for Christmas.
All right, Serena and Blixel, as you guys are moving and not trying to, be quiet or anything like that, you hear a voice calls out from a distance. Who goes there?
Hi guys, it's us. We're back.
Who's us?
It's me, Blixel.
Serena, the crew that cleared out the cave and fixed unclogged your river, your waterfall.
Oh, welcome back. You can see in the outpost to the southwest, this guy puts this little whistle to his mouth and he blows on it. And you can hear this almost like a bird call kind of whistle.
We found a lost logger out in the woods.
You see this guy who's clearly a logger looking down, and he sees Brant's, and Brant's looks up at him, and you see the guy's, maybe take him to Darwin?
Okay.
Will do.
Sucks you were out here in that storm, huh?
I'm just glad I had a little bit of shelter. Can't imagine being out there in the cold.
Yeah, that would suck. Hey, have you seen anybody else recently?
You see he looks down at you, and you get this impression he moves his mouth forward like he's about to say something, and then he stops. Maybe just talk to Darwin.
Can I do an insight check at him, or would I have seen him enough to be able to do that?
Yeah, you can make an insight check to see if you can. Oh, yeah, you're pretty far away. But yeah, you can throw me an insight check. I'm going to give you disadvantage on just based on the distance you are from him.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. I meant to do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw a blind check. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you're not sure at all, Tavern.
I will make sure that the party, because I don't know where everyone's distance is, but at least the group that's near me, I will tell them that kind of suspicious he didn't answer if anyone else was around here, though.
That's because cops just arrived here asking about us.
Yeah, and they got good news about our character and how wonderful we are and helpful for the guild.
Yeah, I'll be here for my photo op. I'm good.
In case it's important to you guys, I will say that Brant's is looking a bit better. You guys remember you really hurt him bad, but AKA you can assume that during this time where you guys were huddled down, he was also spending hit dice. So he doesn't look fully healthy, but he definitely looks a lot better than he did.
He doesn't get any of the Song of Rest, though.
Fair enough. I didn't give him any of that.
Okay. Mind the hole.
I'm stuck in a tree, I think.
I'm not afraid of no hole.
Yeah, I was too. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out. We just need to. We just need to all tie ourselves to Serena. We'll be good.
All right, Serena, as you're kind of making your way around, you notice a guy up on the ridge to your southwest, peeks down and sees you down there and kind of doesn't really pay too much attention. You can see that the gates to the logging camp proper are closed.
All right, we all going in?
Okay.
As you're getting closer, you can hear the chop, chop, chop sounds of the loggers chopping away with their axes. All right, and as you're getting even a bit closer, you notice the two outposts here on either side of the gate. One looks down and says, "Oh, you coming on in?"
Sure. Do you have a warm fire in there?
Oh yeah, come on in. Hang on just a moment. And you see him he climbs down the ladder, makes his way over, and after dislodging, he pushes open the door, and then he motions with his hand for you to enter.
Tavard would do his best to go first.
All right, spotting you kind of making your way through, you notice Darvin by his tent. He sees you and he starts approaching.
Home sweet home.
Welcome back.
Tokens are locked.
Welcome back, everyone. I didn't expect to see you so soon. How did your business go up north?
Not that good.
Oh, that's unfortunate to hear.
You know, Var was in some crazy undead tomb place. We nearly died to some skeletons.
You see Darwin has this look on his face like between shock and disgust. That seems very unlikely.
What do you mean? Why?
Well, maybe unlikely is the wrong word, but it sounds almost unbelievable. Why? What? Where?
It was under one of the buildings in that town.
You see he shakes his head. Oh, geez, I can't even imagine such a thing being there. How strange. I wonder how long it's been there. And nobody knew about it?
Apparently not, but
No,
Var
I
seemed
don't
to.
think so.
Hmm.
I mean, they know now. We told Ryans.
You see he nods. Oh, and on that matter, you see he gets a little bit closer to you again, kind of lowering his voice as he gets up next to you, Tavern. Has Var been dealt with?
You broke up there, Adam. Sorry.
Has Var been dealt with? Were you guys able to hear me that time?
Yeah. Is he asking Tavern specifically, or is it like all of us? Is he just
You
like...
get the impression he just doesn't want everybody around to hear him, so he's just trying to be quiet.
He slipped our grasp narrowly, but Ryan's told us that his men would take it from there. They're looking for him. We think it's possible he fled the city, we'll say.
You see Darwin shakes his head once again. Can only imagine how that's going to go. Somehow he's going to convince Ryans that he deserves another chance, and, jeez. Well, welcome back. You guys must have passed through some really terrible weather to get here. I imagine you're going to want some fire and hungry. I guess we can get you some food.
So let me ask you: has anyone been around asking questions about us?
You see, he looks back and he says, well, to be honest, yes. Yes, there has been.
That's what we thought. Someone told us in town that a group had come out to try to ask about our character. What'd you tell them?
Well, it wasn't exactly that. They just arrived and asked if you had been here and described a bit what you look like, enough at least for me to understand who he meant. And I said that you had, and they asked where you had come from, and of course I told them that you must have come from the hamlet. At least that's what Kalen told us. So they left, and I assume headed that direction.
That's... I knew it.
Well, when did they
How long?
leave?
Yeah. How long ago were they here?
Oh, well, they left pretty early in the morning, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, something like that.
Was that before the storm rolled in?
It was.
Well, the other reason we're here is that we found this man out in the woods, in a peculiar situation. He wasn't sure where he was or how to get back to his logging camp. It's from the one up north. So we brought him here because it was the safest place we knew nearby.
You see Darwin kind of nods as he looks over towards Brant. Oh, well, if he's a fellow logger, we can get him sorted. Friend, feel free to help yourself to the fire. We'll chat later. And you see Brant just kind of gives like a grunt as he walks past you guys towards the fire.
Hey, Anna, remind me, how far is the walk to Hamlet to here? It's 2 hours?
Let me get you an actual number there. I felt like it was closer to 3, but let me just do a quick measure. No, yep, right about 2 hours.
Okay.
Were these people asking questions? Did they have weapons on them?
They did, yes.
We may have to go. But it's been a pleasure. And Books will start moving towards the door.
Yeah, and I'm right behind you. I'm sorry, Darwin, but I'm worried about our home now.
Did they act?
Yes, go ahead.
Did they happen to say who sent them? I mean, we heard people were going to go ask about us, but we're kind of really confused on why. I mean, we're just commoners.
Guild business in this area is always at the direction of Ryan's. I assume he's the one that sent them.
So they seem like they're associated with the guild.
Oh, they certainly were, yes. Their leader's a particularly pricky gentleman that I've had to deal with in the past.
Sounds like you maybe don't see eye to eye with them.
With him specifically, no. He's more like similar to Var in how he has his outlook on things, and not something that I've ever ascribed to. But guild business is guild business. I try to just stay out of the way.
Did you tell them about all the good stuff we did here when we were here with you?
They didn't stay long at all, to be honest. They came in, they looked to see if you were here. I said you weren't. I said that you had been here. They asked where you came from. I remember speaking with Kalen before. He said he knew of you all, that you came from the hamlet to the southwest of here. So I told them that you must have come from that direction, and they seemed to be in a pretty big hurry to head that way.
Okay. Well, take good care of that guy. It seemed like his mind got all mixed up in the woods.
You see he shakes his head once again. Geez, I hear more and new stuff that is around here, but yeah, we'll see that he's fed, and we'll make sure he gets back.
And I'm gonna head to the door. Before I do, is there like a turkey leg I can grab off that campfire?
You basically see a pot, and there's like a bunch of different things of like bread, and there is some raw meat, like they're getting ready to cook. But as far as like what's ready to go, it'd probably just be like the bread, maybe some fruit, that kind of stuff.
I'll grab a piece of bread and take a bite of it and said, Thanks, buddy. Take care. Be safe.
You see Darvin just kind of nods to you as he goes about his business.
Oh, same. Good bread. Thank you, Darvin. We be back next time. Hopefully we can help you again. You guys been great to us.
He nods, says, "Yeah, if you're back in the area, let me know. There's unfortunately always too much stuff that needs to be done." And as you guys exit, you hear someone call out, "Lower or close the doors." And you see that same guy comes down and closes the doors slowly behind, lowers the sort of locking mechanism, and then climbs back up into his post. And no, Taver, you didn't happen to see anybody. And yes, I know we're a little bit over time. I'm assuming you guys are just making a beeline now for the hamlet?
Yep.
I'll go pick up Stinky and then go.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, let's go ahead and pause here, guys. Take our 15-minute break, and we will pick up on the other side.
Thanks.
All right, team, we are back from our break. You guys have decided to make your way to the hamlet as quickly as you can from the logging camp. Remember that it's probably about 4 p.m. at this point, so it sounds like you guys want to push from the logging camp to the hamlet. Is there any special precautions you're taking or anything that you're doing other than just moving as quickly as you can towards the hamlet?
No, I mean, Blixel is very concerned that his mother is in danger from these people. So he's rushing.
Okay, fair enough. So, yes, the team moves quickly as they can, getting closer and closer to the logging, or closer and closer to the hamlet away from the logging camp. You guys spend about an hour and 30 minutes. You know you must be getting very close at this point to the hamlet, and you're, again, really antsy at this point, not knowing what the state of it will be as you approach. When you're about 10 minutes out from the hamlet or so, you notice as you're kind of coming through the more like plains area here, just outside of the hamlet, you see that there is a figure off to the side, maybe 100 yards or so out from the side of where you would normally just make your way up to the hamlet gate. It's at a distance, you can't really make it out real well, but you do see it kind of raises a hand and like waves towards you.
Hard to make out features though.
So at this distance, you're basically looking at like, think of it as almost like a silhouette, right? Because again, it's getting later in the day, so it's not super bright anymore. So at a distance, you're basically seeing a figure. You can tell it's a humanoid figure. You just can't make out much in the way of features from this distance.
Adam, can we tell the type of clothing? For an example, armor versus commoner clothes?
I mean, if somebody wants to throw a blind check to see if you can try to make that out, again, this is pretty far away at this point, so it would be difficult.
I'm proficient in it. I can give it a shot.
Shoot away, blind check. All right, so you kind of stop for a moment and you look in that direction and try to like really peer your eyes, do the best you can to, see as much as you can from this great distance. And you're pretty sure that the figure is one Hallie Frakes, who is actually your neighbor, Vin, the one who lives in the home to the north of you, Baron and Tegan's home.
Oh, it appears to be Hallie.
Adam, just because I don't remember session 1 too well, is this happen to be the one that they thought may have been the thief as well?
No, that was Hadrian, which was a male and not the same family.
All right, thanks.
I'll approach Adam.
All right, so group. All right,
Yep.
So group, I'm assuming everybody's going. If you're not, go ahead and speak up. But otherwise, you guys you walk over in that direction. It was probably like, a good distance. So it takes you like probably 3 minutes to close the gap between where she is and where you were. And as you're approaching, she says, "Oh, I was pretty sure that was you. Tegan said don't do anything that will cause more problems, and don't go in the southeast side. Go around to the northwest side and then enter from that way."
Cause more problems how, Hallie? Are these guards that were chasing them down too? Are they here already?
Yeah, they're here. They took the South family and they've got them tied up to to the palisade wall, and they've been interrogating them, and they've taken over the High Crisp's house, and they're kind of like using it as a base. And last I saw before I was leaving, they were making their way over to Gadilla's house.
Okay. Well, look, go on and get your family out of here before they cause too much problems. And if you can get anyone else, go out the opposite direction.
How many are there, approximately?
No. Tegan said not to make any kind of a scene. She said just lay low, and that's what we need to do. How many? I don't know. There was like, I don't know, maybe 10 of them or more. I don't know.
We'll handle that, but just trust us. Have they killed anybody or hurt anyone?
They haven't. Not that. No, I don't think they've killed anybody. But they've got the South family just tied up to the palisade, though. It's they're kind of there, and they were tied up even when it was raining real bad and it was real cold. And I don't know why. But I don't know why they picked on them.
Is that Kaylin's family?
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
All right, Hallie. Well, look, just trust us. Is Tegan at home?
Yes. She said you should go in through the northwest. Go in through the northwest gate and try to just get into your house. And she said she'll tell you everything then. But she said just don't do anything stupid and cause more problems.
When have you known me to do anything stupid, Hallie?
Well, she did specifically mention your name.
Kaylin coughs.
There was that time.
He smiles, definitely knowing that he's probably going to make this worse, and he starts walking in the direction that she gave them warning to.
Okay, so you'll notice that she's going to follow you kind of like on the outskirts, and she's trying to keep, she's not like crouching, but she's not standing fully up either. So you guys take a really wide berth and eventually find yourself towards the northwest part of the hamlet. I'm going to go ahead and drag you guys on, and then we will switch maps. But, again, as you're approaching, is there anything specific that you're doing other than, again, just approaching the gate?
Well, I guess we're going to try to stealth it, right? Because we don't want to be seen by the
Yeah, I'll try
people.
to stealth
Is
it.
the hamlet big enough that if they're operating on the southeast part of town, we don't think they would see us coming through the gate? Unless we made a lot of noise?
I mean, the hamlet is decent size, so unless they're watching the entrance, if they're only at the southeast, then they might not see you. All of that is to say that if they're looking for you, then it will definitely come down to a skill check. So those of you that want to try to do this stealthily, feel free to throw a blind check.
I feel like we have to. Might as well try.
Y'all doing it?
Where are... Oh, I don't have.
I don't see our tokens.
So let me go
Gonna
ahead
drag
and
'em on
get
this
you.
map.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get you guys over to the map. Okay, so as a reminder, there's not blocker light on the wall, but obviously you can't see through the wall, right? So as you guys approach here from this side, this is kind of what you're seeing and hearing nearby. Feel free to go ahead and throw checks if you weren't already able to.
I'm gonna fuck this up, boys.
Adam, I want to kind of be out a little bit ahead, if I can, if that's okay with you.
You can be, except Hallie looks like she is moving like quickly to try to rejoin, so you're not trying to stop her, I assume?
No, I'm moving at her same pace, but I'm just ahead of the group if I could.
All right, so you'll notice she kind of like steps through the open gate, looks really quickly to the south, and then you see she scurries over to where her house actually is. She makes her way around the back of the house and then slips in through the door and closes it behind her.
Can I do like a Splinter Cell Tom Clancy moment where I like back against the door and put my eyes around it to see if I could see anybody, Adam?
Sure, go ahead and throw me a blind check.
I take it we're not bringing the bear, by the way?
I'm assuming you did not. Okay, you don't spot anybody immediately that is like within line of sight.
Okay. I'm gonna wave Blixel by and just say, go on. She'll know you're coming. Dan, you too. And I'm I'm gonna keep wrapping my hand around for Celine and Tavard, and turn and look towards Serena. Come on.
She messaged on Discord that she's having computer issues, so I'm assuming she's following us, as she said. So
I will move her ahead.
Perfect, and I'll be the last one to wrap in once everybody wraps in, Adam.
All right, as you enter Baron first, you notice Tegan looks and sees you, and you see she puts a hand to her chest. Oh, my goodness, welcome. I thought for sure. Oh, good.
I'll walk up and I'll grab her hand. We're fine, Mom.
And you see she gives you a quick, surprising hug. You know, all this time growing up with her, she hasn't been the most like affectionate or overly warm type of people. She's always been there for you, and she's always, tried to do everything she can, but almost like at an arm's length. But this, she certainly seems to be very relieved.
Oh, okay. We'll settle in, and tell us what you know.
All right, as you all enter, you see she looks towards you all and she says, "I will tell you what I know, and good to see each of you." And she goes around and mentions each of your names really quickly. Those of you that obviously you have been living here for a while, so you all know her. If she has if you have any kind of like special kind of interaction with her where maybe she's come up with a nickname or something like that, she might have called that to you. But if not, she just says your name and greets you all. But then she looks directly at you, Blixel, and she says, "I will tell you all what I know as best as I can know, but you can't do anything out of the ordinary. You have to stay here until we think of what the best way to handle this is. Do you understand?"
Oh no.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
sure.
Kill them all.
I grab onto my warhammer, my father's favorite warhammer. Say, yeah, I understand.
And you see, as you do that, she sort of looks at you and she holds a hand up and she says, "This may not be a time where violence will solve this issue, but let me tell you what I know. They came here late yesterday. Or early this morning, I guess it is. All this time is blending together now. It's that storm is throwing everything off. They must have gotten here late in the morning or early in the afternoon. It was somewhere around that time, but they quickly started interrogating some of the people of the hamlet. They started with the High Crisps, and Mord and Riva, they let them come right in, didn't put up any kind of a fight. So they're there. This swarmy looking fellow just kind of came in and walks around like he owns the place. They interrogated the Souths right away. They're still tied to the palisade wall. The last I saw, I've been trying to stay out of sight, but they've been going from house to house, taking their sweet time, interrogating people. And then you see she looks towards you again, Blixel. Last I saw, they had your mother tied up against the south wall.
What?
Tegan, and you ask us not to do anything rash while they're tying people up and letting them suffer the effects of this storm.
You see, she kind of looks and she nods. I understand. It's calmed down a bit now that they some of them were worse for wear, having been exposed to it. But this is not the time for heroics. You can't be ready to reveal yourself. You have to think of this the careful way of doing this. So I'm assuming, based on their apparel, that these are with the guild, right?
They were with the guild?
They're with the guild, yes. The guild leader of Mountain Edge, Ryance, we met him, and he had suspicions. So he sent people to ask questions about us. They followed a trail back to here, due to the South's unfortunate ability to not keep their big mouths shut.
You see, she nods. Oh, I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I have some very interesting information, but it'll have to wait until this immediate situation has been resolved. But I don't know exactly what they're hoping to find here. Is there any reason they should suspect or know something about you that they shouldn't know?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
What? What do you mean? You haven't been saying anything, have you?
I'll look at my brother.
We spoke to one old man. We didn't give any direct information, but we only asked a few questions. He had suspicions. We never confirmed anything directly, but we found out Ryance investigated him, had him under interrogation for quite a while. But I was able to interrogate him back, and it didn't seem like he gave away information, which is why they're here interrogating you all. They don't know directly, but they only suspect.
So just to clarify, based on what you're saying, you haven't revealed anything directly. I feel like that's a deception. Are you agreeing with that?
I don't think I revealed anything directly. I think I beat around the
You
bush.
told Wilcox.
No,
you
you
basically came out and told him that
Yep.
you were the heirs.
And that we're the wolf den.
Well,
Wolf pack.
we implied it, right? Implication is a whole different thing.
Very heavily implied.
Yeah, but Adam is
So
saying,
what
did I
does Vin
directly?
No.
believe?
So then, if at all that I think that Vin, if he's at all deceiving Tegan, I will step in front of.
I don't think I'm
Vin.
deceiving Tegan at all. I think Vin believes that the conversation he had with Wilcox was him gathering information that was, a little implicating. Yeah, sure, but he didn't directly say, "Oh yeah, me and my brother, we're the heirs."
You
right?
basically did.
You did.
That's kind of how I thought it went as well, Vin. So
Yeah, because you were like, "What happened to they're twin brothers, right?" And then you look at both of us, and you called me to stand next to you. That was a clear nod that we are the heirs.
Okay, then operating under that assumption, I look at Tegan and say, "Well, then they know, so we got to kill them all. So we shouldn't be fucking around in this damn house."
you see she shakes her head and she says, no, 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 no. Even if you could kill them all, which maybe you could if you caught them by surprise, that's not all of them. If you kill them all, message will definitely get back to the guild. They're waiting for these people to return. If they don't come back, they're going to be able to follow that trail very easy, and it will lead them right to here. You must somehow diffuse this situation without killing any of them and get them off the trail.
Okay, well, what's your plan then?
Well, my thought is, and this is a bit bold, but what if you were to simply approach this man and ask to speak with him and see what you can learn? What is it exactly that he's trying to find out? If he just came here, if he tries to attack you, then you're defending yourselves at that point, right? But, and everybody in the hamlet, I'm sure, will stand up for you. But if you just simply go there and kill them, well, it's a different story.
All right.
And
So-
if the guy says that, that the old man said that you said you were twins, you could just say that old man's old and senile. That's not, that guy's dumb.
Vin's already
Well,
left, guys. He's already out the door.
He can observe that you're twins.
Wait, can we do it in the morning? Some people don't have any spell slots left.
She looks over to you, Baron, as you see
We can't
Vin
wait till the
kinda
morning.
quickly rush out of the house, and then Blixel starts to follow him. And you see she looks at you and she shakes her head. Have you not been controlling his? Well, is he still?
Eagerness.
And you see she kind of sighs for a moment and almost like biting her tongue.
I'll go get them, Mom. You stay here. I'll be right back.
It's a work in progress. We're trying our best.
You see she looks towards you, Saline, as you say this, and she nods, knowing all too well what that means.
That's a big map. I don't have my reading glasses on, but where's Vin?
It's a good question. He rushed out of the house.
You are now the heir.
Probably.
Take a right, folks.
You went
Jesus.
north?
Don't
Okay.
go into the farm. Go to the road.
Oh, there they are. I helpfully point for everyone else to follow along.
What was? Hey, brother, stop! Where are you going?
She told us to go talk to him. That's what I'm doing. He has Blixel's mother tied up. What are you doing?
I want an inside check to make sure that's actually what he's doing.
You can't insight check each other.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
think.
I'm
But that's a
aiming.
good plan.
I like her plan because if they do attack us, I'm gonna stab them in the fucking face.
Vard, hold up, guys. Let's do a little map management. Someone's
Head
tied
count,
up.
yeah. Group everyone up so we
Yeah,
don't get
like,
a surprise round for half the team.
Yeah.
Is Libby back yet, or is she still stuck?
I think she said she was listening, but she was having computer issues. So
All right, so Serena, you're able to move your token and all that. You're good? I see Token moving. I think she's good. All right, so yeah, as you guys are getting a bit split up here, Blixel and Vin, I will say to the south, you can see some commotion towards the storehouse, the warehouse, and you hear a loud voice saying, "I don't care. Get out of the way. We are inspecting this place. Move, old man."
Oh, hell no. These are the people we need to protect, Vin.
I'm gonna look at Blixo and say, wait for my signal.
All right, from that distance, you can spot 2 men entering the storehouse. Each one of them looks like they are prepped and ready for battle. And by that, I mean each one of them is a quarterstaff at their side. You notice that they have these containers of darts at the other side. They're wearing leather armor, and they seem to be puffed up as though they're exhibiting their strength.
I'm just gonna walk right here, and I'm just gonna look at him and say, "Oi, you there! Get your ass out here!"
So they walked into a dart fight. I'm ready.
And you can hear from inside the house, there's like the storehouse, there's like sort of like some shouting, and you can hear the signature voice of Ford call out, "Why can't there's too much work to do for this disruption!" And then you hear, "Shut up, old man, I said get over there!"
I rushed down.
I'm gonna.
You guys are
keep
going
pace
the
with
wrong way,
Blixo.
by the way.
All right, as you get to there, Vin and Blixel, you notice along the east palisade wall, the 3 remaining South family members here, Shannon, Anwin, and Guinevere, are all lashed to the palisade wall. Standing in front of them, you notice 2 other armed men who seem to be just eyeing them. They're kind of like keeping their eyes on them. They're not really interacting with them, but you notice all 3 of the South seem to have their heads a bit slumped and look a bit haggard.
Hey.
Hold up, Blixo.
We're about to get surrounded.
All right, as you make your way in that direction, Blixel, you notice one of them turns and looks back and looks towards you, and he says, "Oh, look at this! We got a darky-skinned one in the hamlet as well. Where'd you come from?"
I want to speak
Sent.
to your leader.
And then he sees you pass Blixel, and you see they both kind of like have like a readied stance at this point, and you see the one in the back says, "We've got some company down here." And you see some more of these guys moving from the south in your direction.
The scruffy one. Where's he at?
All right, as they continue to approach, you can hear him kind of calling out, "Group up, group up." And you can see as these guys from the storehouse kind of start making their way out. From around the area, you can hear the sound of movement as they seem to be sort of gathering.
This is where we live. What are you guys doing here?
And you notice the one in the front looks and says, "Who might you be?"
Us. We came to talk to him. Wonder why he's questioning us. Why don't you send him out?
"Oh, who is it that you're here to talk to?"
I don't remember his name.
Whoever's in charge.
"What? What was that?" And you see the guy that's yelling. So just to clarify, Serena, the one that's like yelling at you right now is the one that is southeast of Vin here.
Yeah, I figured. I'm asking the guys close to me, who's in charge here? We need to speak with them.
And you see the one kind of looks at you and gives you this little bit of a smile as he kind of does the and looks you up and down. "Oh, lady, you'll want to speak with Pruitt."
Well, where are they at?
And you see he reaches out and kind of touches you on the shoulder. You get this sort of like a little bit too familiar of a posture. And he says, "Oh, you can find Pruitt in the orchard house."
I grab his hand as soon as it touches me. And I say, thank you for the information.
And you see he looks at you grabbing his hand, and he's like tenses, almost like he thinks you're about to crush his hand, and he like tries to pull it away, and it looks like you walk away, so he does, and he kind of just wipes it on his pants, and he looks to the guy next to him. Yeah, do you see her?
Guys, the leader is in the orchard house.
Perfect.
Pritz's name. I'm gonna keep an eye. Should I keep an eye on these on Kalen's family? Make sure they don't do any more harm to him.
You see as you're approaching Vin, the one kind of just gets out of your way and says, "Be my guest."
All right, hold on.
Is that the High Crisp house, Adam?
They're
It
gonna
is
need us
indeed, yes.
inside.
And I'm just gonna stop right
Let-
here on the corner and get away from me. I'm gonna say,
Let-
"Hi, Pruitt, come outside."
All right, and you notice a man who's inside the house. You see him looking to the north as you're spotting him, Vin. As you call his name, you see he turns and looks towards you. As he does so, you see he kind of narrows his eyes a bit, and then he does the cracking of the neck without touching it as he starts walking in your direction.
I heard you were asking questions about me.
That depends. Who are you? Are you
take a
dumb?
heavy-
Can you speak?
I kind of cock my head and look at him. Are we going to play this game?
Would you like to eat some dirt?
Look, you came into our hamlet here. You're tying people up, people that we've known our whole lives. We've only returned.
And are you some type of legal authority in this hamlet, boy?
I guess I may be, if it depends on why you're here. I mean, what did any of these people do to you? None of them are guild affiliated, as you are, obviously.
You see he chuckles. Well, that's why we're looking around, trying to uncover some information. You could be very helpful in that effort. Who are you?
I'm one of the Greaves brothers.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Because, see, I've asked around. Haven't heard about any Greaves. I've heard about Souths. I've heard about Orbans. I've heard about Carringtons. I haven't heard of any Greaves. Which house might yours be?
Well, unfortunately, our caretaker was a bit, I guess you could say, strict. She didn't let us out much. We did most of our hunting in the woods. See, we know some people from the chapel, the Cerilia family, but this is our home, sir. You can't come in here and you cannot tie people up. You have no reason to.
And you see he's sort of watching you as a lot of these guys seem to be like, almost like jockeying for position.
Mm-hmm. Look, you're obviously looking for us, as your lackeys here are surrounding me and my compatriots, and I'm just asking why. Why do you believe you have any reason to look for me, my brother, any of our friends, anybody in
Who
this
is your
entire
brother?
hamlet?
He interrupts you quickly. Who is your brother?
I'm not here to be investigated or asked questions. You can leave and untie my friends and their family members.
You see he chuckles once again. Why don't you step inside the High Crisp house and we will continue this discussion in a more intimate setting.
I'm afraid I'll have to decline. Politely, of course.
You
And
see he
Adam,
looks
if
at you
any-
once again and he says, this is not a request. And he motions with his hand towards the High Crisp house.
So what are you gonna do? Arrest me? Attack
Hey,
me?
hey, hey, hey.
Tie me to a palisade?
If necessary.
I'd like to see you try. You have no authority here either.
God, Dylan.
All right, let's go, brother. Come on, we'll have a seat. Come on.
Oh, so you're the brother. You see, he looks over towards you. I would like to speak with both of you very much.
Right, let's go.
He motions again with his hand as he's staring you dead-eyed, Vin, as he looks at you with determination.
I smile at him and cock my head. Are you upset? What's
By
wrong?
being detained.
He doesn't respond. He just keeps his hand open, like open palm, essentially, as it's pointed towards the High Crisp house.
You first.
He reaches out and he grabs you by the shoulder and he starts to drag you. Do you resist in any way?
Does this feel like I'm being attacked? Is that what this feels like?
I mean, you're being grappled. You could say that. If you're going to try to resist, then you're pretty sure it's going to be an attack.
I would like to give him bardic inspiration.
Would this
What-
constitute under Tegan's quotations of defending myself here?
Just fucking
I
go
think
in the
it's
house,
up
we'll
to
back
you.
you up.
I'll grab his other arm.
Whose arm are you grabbing?
My brother's. You don't need to put your hands on him. I got him. Let's go talk. Come on, brother. Let's have a seat.
Are you trying to resist being pulled then, or are you going to go with him?
Begrudgingly, I'll go with them, but I don't really understand what we're doing here.
All right, so you look in kind of confusion as he and Baron, probably at a lesser extent, pulls you on inside the house.
Does it look like they're gonna stop the rest of us from following? If we
It
get
does
that-
indeed.
Okay.
I shut the door myself and I turn and look at him. Explain yourself, man.
And you see he looks at you and he says, "Oh, just a moment." And you see he steps back here and he points to the north. And you notice Riva High Crisp comes on out. And he looks at her and he says, "Is it these two?" And you see she looks over towards you with kind of like wide eyes, a little bit of maybe like a gulp kind of look. And you see she just gives a little bit of a nod. And you see he steps back towards you. "So, I have so many questions. First, who is the woman that you live with here in the hamlet?"
Does everybody in the hamlet know her as Tegan, Adam?
Yes.
Or has she given a fake name?
Nope. She goes by Tegan. Maybe Tegan might be a fake name, you're not sure, back in her old days, but yeah, everybody knows her as Tegan.
She's known as Tegan.
And you see he nods a little bit. "Oh, that's the old lady that lives in the northwest of town then, right?"
Why do you need to know?
And you see he smiles a little bit as he looks towards you, Baron. "Right?"
Look, we told you where she was. Yeah, she's in the northwest part of the town. Everyone here knows. We grew up here. We're brothers. What's the big deal? Everyone knows her. She raised us. What is this a big revelation for you?
You see he kind of narrows his eyes a bit as he looks at you, looks you up and down. "You don't quite look like locals, I must say. Have a bit more of a Reuric bend to you, no?"
Actually, I don't know, to be honest. I only know that I grew up here.
We've never met our mother or our father. Orphans, you see.
Go ahead and
Hence a
give me
caretaker.
a blind check on that one, Vin. You see he looks at you, but you get the impression he's like, maybe he's either not listening or not believing what you're saying. But you notice
I would like to use that talisman that he gave me that says if I fail an ability check, I can use it. Isn't that how it works?
Sure.
Yep, I'll burn a use of it.
I don't know how bad the check was, but...
It's for saving throws, Adam.
Oh, sorry, this is not a saving throw.
No, I think it's ability checks from what I read about it. Will you post it?
Yeah, ability check, yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Big money.
So go ahead and roll a d4, Vin.
Oh, me? I'm rolling it?
Yeah, it says when the wearer fails an ability, they can. Yep. Okay. So you see he kind of pauses for a moment as he's eyeing you here. And then he sort of like almost nods to himself, perhaps, and kind of leans a bit against the back wall. This will go so much quicker if you just be forthright with your answers. So, you live with the old woman in the northwest of town, and she took you in because you were orphans, yes?
I guess
That's right.
She took us in. I mean, I don't think I've ever asked her that question now that I think about it.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have many questions for her right after I leave here. And you see he looks back at you, kind of like gauging your response.
But why? That's what we're wondering. Why? I mean...
Guild business is not your business.
It is when you come into our sweet little village with fucking apple pickers and tie them to the wall.
Resisting arrest, what can I say? Anyway, getting back to the matter at point, you don't know...
What were they being arrested for? No, that's not the point. The point is
he looks at you and he says, if you don't shut your mouth, I am going to give you something to cry about. Do you understand?
I would really enjoy you trying, sir.
You see he eyes you again, perhaps curiously, and he nods. Well, okay then. Wait here a moment. And he is going to step away.
I'm following.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him get any distance on me, Adam.
You see he opens the door and he does like this whistle. Is that what you're attempting to do right there, Blixel?
I was hoping to do it before he exited. Like I thought this was a corner without anybody there.
Unfortunately, he stepped out right when you did that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put us in initiative order.
Oh my God! Sorry.
I'm going to play my card.
Okay.
I'm going to play my card.
I had my sheet up, so I didn't see that he was there.
I don't have the normal spot to play it, Adam. If you want to enlarge it.
Okay, so any enemies visible to the player of this card's character or their allies will be considered surprise. So unfortunately, I think that's just him. Yes.
No, the allies outside. Yeah, the allies outside would be everybody in the party. Anybody that they can see would all be
character or their ally. Sorry, I misread that. So let me just see if everybody's within line of sight. Yeah, that's going to cover everybody. Yep. Okay, so we will consider this a surprise.
Perfect. I'm going to beat the shit out of this dude.
We shall find out. Okay, let me get everybody in initiative real quick.
We'll find out.
Sorry, guys. My sheet was open. I didn't see his token was right next to me when I did the invisibility.
It's okay, bro.
No, it's not. Split screen. 2 monitors.
All right, just making sure I've got everyone.
Classic D&D moment.
Okay, I think I have everyone, and more up-tempo music.
Of course I would roll in that one. God damn it, dude. You see what I mean, guys?
I feel like you have had really bad initiative luck in this campaign so far.
Yeah, you have. He blew a whistle?
No, he didn't blow a whistle. He just whistled, like put his fingers to his mouth and whistled.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to assume then, because again, there's not really things you can do outside of the combat order. I'm going to assume you haven't cast invisibility yet, Blixel. So if you want to make that your first action, you certainly can do so. But he's essentially stepped out, he's whistled, and that's what starts this initiative round. So Tavern, you are first. You hear this whistle. What do you do?
Do these guys look like they're doing anything in result?
Not at all. They look like they're quite surprised.
They look quite surprised.
All right. I'm actually going to... How well do these folks look like they're tied up?
The south to the wall. So think of it as their hands are bound with rope, and then there's like two links of the rope that are wedged into like the top of the palisade wall. So I mean, you could break one of them free as an action. You're pretty sure.
Yeah, not knowing what's going on, and I'm trying to roleplay a little bit here, because obviously we're in initiative, but I don't know why we're in initiative, because I'm farther away kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dodge action, seeing that they're all getting closer towards me, and I'm going to tell them, look, we need to untie these folks and leave them be. And I guess that'll end my turn, unfortunately, because I don't know what's going on, or my character doesn't,
Okay, Saline. You hear Tavern say that. You're next to react.
I mean, I heard a whistle, but
Yes.
yeah, I don't necessarily know what that means. Saline's probably very confused. Because
I'm gonna yell, "They're attack them!" How about that? I can do that out of contact real quick. There you go, Vin. That's what we're doing, right?
It sounds like you're not sure. So.
I'm not sure either.
It's not me. Blixel was casting a spell in front of this dude, so this was just in reaction to what he was doing, so they don't get.
Well, I mean, Blixel hasn't cast a spell yet, right? So.
Right, so he stepped out, he whistled. That's what I'm essentially saying started the initiative, because Blixel got to the process where he was getting ready to cast it. We're not going to force him to cast a spell on his turn unless he wants to. But yes, you could say that's sort of what started this initiative.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be the first one to make an aggressive action because I'm still not sure what's going on. But I mean, so surprised characters can't take reactions. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
Actions or reactions on their turn.
All right, then if Tavard said we're untying these people,
so just a quick clarification there. So when you're surprised, you can't move or take an action on your first turn of the combat, and you can't take a reaction until that turn ends. So the moment that the guy after you, his turn's over, he then can take reactions.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if I can step away. So yeah, none of them have taken turns yet. So I am going to. And to clarify,
none of them have weapons in hand at the moment, so they wouldn't get one anyway.
Oh, I see. I thought, okay, I misunderstood then, because I thought they were approaching us with like.
No, you guys were all getting kind of squirrely in your movement and trying to obviously you guys were all jockeying for position. So you can think of this as sort of like, how like two like high school kids are going to fight and they're kind of like walking around and like stepping towards, backing, like that's how I'm envisioning this right now.
Okay. Well, they are surprised that they don't get to move until I move again, basically. So if I do need to cast an AoE spell, I can do it on the next turn when it's more apparent what's going on. So what I'm going to do is don't like having 3 people next to me. So Sally's just going to like back up and go 5, 10, 15, that's Serena, 20, 25, 30. And I guess I'll take the dodge action because I'm not sure what's going on, but if they start coming at me, I will reevaluate that on the next turn.
Fair enough. Okay, Blixel, you're next to react. Would you like to cast that spell?
No. At this point, no, but Blixel is going to say, Where is my mother? And he's going to grapple this man.
All right, go ahead and throw an athletics check and see if you manage to grapple him. As you attempt to grapple him, he slips out of your grasp.
You better let her go.
He seems too surprised to react or respond.
And Blixel will, I guess, make sure he draws Shipwrecker, has it out,
Okay.
and is just sort of blocking the way.
All right, as you draw Shipwrecker's hand, you will see he can call out again outside of combat. You'll hear, "Weapons out! Weapons out!"
Oh no. Alright, that's it for my turn.
Okay, Baron.
Oh my goodness. So this is with advantage, yeah? Alright, so I am toiling with the fact of he being him, or let's see, I can hobble him. Let me think.
And just to clarify, you said advantage. What are you thinking you're getting advantage on?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's surprised, right?
Yes, yep. But it doesn't provide advantage,
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, that's correct.
Only if you're Spectre.
though.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to try to get out of the house. All right, I'm going to cast Windlash on him. I've never done this before, but it's a cantrip, and what I'm going to do, just wave my hand, and a burst of wind will come out, and I'll cast it here. It says that it's a melee spell attack. It's 20 feet, 1d8, so it's not much, but I can push a target 5 feet away from me, so I'm intending to push him as well. There's no save on that. Here we go.
So, again, if you're attempting to push him south, I would say you want to move west 5 feet before you do that. You're not, unless you want to step up right next to him, you're not going to be able to push him southwest. Where are you intending to try to push him?
I guess it doesn't matter unless you think I'm going to get cover. Unless he's going to get cover. If I think he's going to get cover. If I move behind my brother, then I won't.
I think he's going to get cover regardless because Vin's right in the doorway. So go ahead and post your spell, like the text, just so I can read it real quick. Obviously, unless this is like a saving throw one. Yeah, so this is a hit, so yes, he would benefit from cover.
Alright, so I'll try to push him straight back.
All right, yeah, go ahead and post that attack.
Is that Blitzel right there? Oh.
Might be.
I see his foot. Alright, here we go.
You gonna throw a boulder at him again?
He pokes his head around the corner and just waves at you.
Yes, that will indeed hit him.
Nice.
Okay, he gets pushed back, suffers some damage.
Come on, brother, this way. I'll go. That's 5. There's 10. Oh, 20, 25, 30 gets me to the door. Sadly, I'm going to keep it closed. Let me check.
And Serena.
You heard him shout. He was for them to draw weapons, right? He shouted that, didn't he, Adam?
He said weapons out.
Yeah, okay.
What I was about to ask is, because my visibility happens to be particularly limited at the moment, was I able to hear Tavard, and was I able to hear Pruitt or whatever?
You definitely heard Pruitt because he yelled, "Weapons out!" Tavard, what did you say? I don't even remember.
I said we should untie these people.
Were you shouting this or just speaking at a regular volume?
Regular volume, but yeah, I'll say that probably someone within 20 feet at the most. you know.
So you probably heard part of that, Serena.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna draw cabbage harvester.
Okay.
Adam, I'm going to play a card real quick.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have a play spot here, so just throw it on screen. We'll pop it up real quick. Nice. Okay, so you and your group gain advantage on your next attack roll within 1 minute. Everybody remember that effect.
Very cool. I am going to slash the ropes that are holding Shannon.
Okay, yeah, and this is pretty easy to do because it's pretty simple rope and it's not particularly well tied. So I'm going to say you don't even have to make an attack roll for that. Use your action and you slash it open. And you see she looks at you in surprise and she says, she looks like she's getting ready to rush to her daughter, is Guinevere, just to the south.
I say, run, I'll free you all.
And she's not acting yet, but I will say she doesn't look like she wants to just leave her. So you get the impression she's getting ready to run down like over to here because she wants to try to save her daughter.
Great. Get into the fray. Well, so I don't think there's much more that I can do to, like, I don't get a bonus swing, right?
No, not for that action, no.
And I used up all my speed, so I think that's it for me.
Okay, Vin.
All right. Seeing my brother say, "Come on, brother, this way," I kind of like look over my shoulder and question what he's doing and step out the door here with quickness. Got advantage.
Yes, that will indeed connect.
So I'll get sneak attack on that as well.
You will indeed.
And with Dagger Master, I get another attack as part of the feat, so I'll stab him again. Advantage again, right?
No, only on the first attack, so that will be a miss.
Okie dokie. And he will use his footwork to... get around to this side of the tree.
Okay, I'm going to say go ahead and put yourself in one of those two squares. I'm not sure. There you go. Perfect. All right.
Sorry, I didn't see it was a half square. My bad.
No worries. You're good. All right. We are top of round 2, folks. We've only got a minute left, so I think this is a good place to go ahead and pause it. So we will have a good start to the next session and see how this whole interaction is resolved. So I hope you guys enjoyed this session. It was a lot of fun. You guys are a bit of in the thick of it. And just as a reminder, Tegan did say she's got some very important information to tell you once this situation resolves. So we will see what that is next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But
Both
yeah.
of you to assume this isn't going far off the rails.
Yeah, if she
DM has this plan, party decides another.
No plan survives contact with the players. That's the saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, good session, guys. We'll see you all next week. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, folks,
Thanks,
have a
Adam.
great week. We'll see
Yeah.
you.
Later, everybody.